Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children.
Hey, yo, it's been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah, where you been?
It was a very, 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 very COVID Christmas. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But we're back. This is the Kokomo Press. I am Jordan Bell.
I'm Jordan Granger.
And today we have Matty Crull.
Matty Crull, extraordinaire. Mentioned on the podcast way more than he's been on, so we finally had to get him on for the new year. Let's get a couple of leads for the Matty Crull coming in.
Am I supposed to do that for myself?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You give yourself
And
a little
yeah,
pat
yeah.
on the
It's
back.
all good.
Yeah, the most talked about man on the podcast probably because we do so much with you, but like we haven't been able to get you on.
I've heard my name.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
You know, he's been on here a few times. You know, we talk about the show, talk about the band, talk about everything that we've done. I mean, like Dwarf, we had Messi on.
Yeah.
I can't believe we had Messi on before you.
And that was kind of weird. Like, it is kind of weird that we haven't had you on.
I know, right?
But it's all good. Because,
Sunday mornings aren't my thing.
Sunday mornings,
So.
yeah. Sunday mornings, man.
I get it.
Yeah, as a former huge Maroon 5 fan, Sunday mornings are great for me. You know what I mean?
I'm already regretting this. I don't know if I should have come here. I'm just kidding.
I didn't.
The songs about Jane was good.
I didn't understand that super white reference.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
How dare you?
That was Jordan's favorite band
It
back in
was.
the day.
They still are. I mean, like their staying power is pretty legit. I mean,
Yeah.
as much as they are poppy now, and they do have like a little bit of goodness. There's every once in a while a good song comes out like that, but it's never the premier song. It's always like.
But Adam Levine's tattoos, like when it was like someone just took a flash sheet from a tattoo shop and just pasted on his torso.
I think that's what he did. He said, "Hey, you see that wall over there? Just throw it on me.
Right?
Just
yeah.
throw it on me."
It's kind of like he was like, man, I'm doing all this pop shit. I have no credibility. Maybe I should just get a shit ton of tattoos so I look cool. Like, I gotta do that, because that's the only way I'm staying cool here.
Yeah.
He's like, all of his songs are, I got the moves like Jagger. And he's like, well, you got the tattoos like Care Bear.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like a Care Bear. Yeah,
Moves like Jagger, tattoos
those
like Care Bear.
like wasn't there like a Care Bear that you could like draw on
Yeah,
or something?
Doodle Bear.
The Doodle
No,
Bear. Yeah.
Doodle Bear.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what he looks
Yeah.
like. Yeah, that's exactly what he looks like.
My brother, Jacob, friend of the podcast, benefactor of the podcast, actually. He's one of the few people that put money in the podcast outside of us. It's pretty great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob. Love you.
I'm gonna get you later.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Well, not me. That'd be
Yeah, that's incest.
Jordan. That's incest.
Not incest.
Yeah. But yeah, not incest. Yeah, but he had one of those Doodle Bears when we were younger, and I remember when he got it, we were all like, "Good."
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I feel bad for it now. Like,
dude, I had one. Like,
yeah, I did it. He had like you'd draw on it, and then you throw it in the washer.
Yeah.
And then you'd wash it and dry it.
See, you're the reason people make fun of people that buy their son's kitchen sets. Yeah, you're the reason.
Hey, I had a pretty big. I think there's a difference between like a pink Doodle Bear, because he had a pink one too, and it was like my mom was like I couldn't find a blue one.
I think mine was blue. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I remember like when it got washed, it looked like tie dye because it never actually fully came off. It just like changed the color of the belly.
Yeah.
So
This
you
looks like an
draw over
older
it again.
woman with tattoos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You know when
yeah.
a woman gets like a dolphin tattoo and then as she gets older it becomes a whale?
It's like an ice cream cone and then it melts. You know?
It's like all the way down. That's one of the funniest like 10-year challenge things. Like that's been popping on Facebook. And like the 10-year challenge thing is like somebody put like 10-year challenge and it was like a tip that's like firm and then a tip that's floppy 10 years later.
Is that how that's supposed to work? Because I'm pretty sure my ex-wife has a tattoo, and it's supposed to be like a flower or something like that. Shit looks like a banana.
It just moved.
Yeah.
Woo! Got
And
longer.
you know what's weird? You could blame that on age, but it was like that from the jump. So
Just a bad tattoo.
yeah, maybe a bad tattoo,
She
but
get it in
possibly
town?
a bad person. I don't know.
Did she get it in town?
I probably know the guy.
Yeah, right.
I can't remember. Honestly, I can't
We're
remember
not
where she got
blasting
it.
anybody this time. No beef
I'll give
all
no fucks.
2022.
You shouldn't have brought me on here. Yeah,
Fuck
it's
it.
not-
Beef. I don't know. I've already pissed off. Even with the Kokomo Scanner 2.0 page back in the day, I pissed off New Breed. Because I was like making fun of their piercing day. I'm like, your $20 piercings, and people come in and then they leave and they have like they're like completely destroyed. I'm like, why? Do not get your nipples pierced on $20 piercing time. It's not a good time.
I did that.
You did?
Twice.
Twice. You had to get it redone, right?
Your
Because they got
nipples? I didn't even know that he has nipples. Are they still done?
No.
I could have guessed.
No.
Honestly.
He
He just seems like the type.
he
Yeah,
does.
like I mean,
Which is why we got to go back a little bit out before podcast. He got his nipples done. He's got his nails done, but he like does no butt stuff. It's like you gotta get
That is weird.
You gotta try a little bit.
No, I'm not.
Live on air. Jordan gets his butt played with.
I don't really
Don't
like
knock it
butt
till you
stuff.
try
I'm
it.
sorry.
I'm just
I
saying.
yeah.
Do you like pitching butt stuff or just no catching butt stuff? That's the question.
See, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to pitching butt stuff, I guess. It's not really my thing, man.
Well,
just ass is ass.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's cool, but like.
But Shark Week. Shark Week. During Shark Week, it's like a good time to...
Well, yeah.
Brown
During
town.
Shark
Week, you always got to go
don't-
downtown.
Yeah, and you don't want to throw any chums in the water and shit like that. But
I'm not saying inside. I'm not saying like shove something in there.
Yeah, yeah.
But a little bit around it. It's
Jordan
like
thinks
I'm
he's going
telling
to be
you,
a puppet.
it'll make a big. It makes a difference. I'm telling you.
No.
You heard it right here.
I heard it here first. Maddie's... I've had a finger in my ass. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here on this podcast in front of God and the world on Sunday morning and say I haven't had a finger in my
I'm
ass.
telling. It's the male G spot.
look, I'm gonna tell you guys. So first and foremost, these guys, they bullied me into getting like apples and an iPhone and stuff like that. I am not letting them bully me into butt stuff. Not gonna do it. You heard it here first.
We're not saying shove the apple up your ass. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
More like a crab apple. At least this podcast is starting good. I knew I had Matty on it. We're all comfortable, so it's like completely different. It's like when we have somebody new on and we're trying to learn about their thing, we're like trying to be pensive, like, yeah, man, and Matty like, butt stuff.
You already know we're talking about butts. Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about this the other day because, like, on that post on Facebook or whatever, it was like Facebook friends for 7 years or whatever, and I was like, oh, we're going on 20 years, and I'm like, shit, it's been more than that. It's been like 25 years we've known each other. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is insane.
It's insane. Like, it blows my mind.
We hated each other for a minute. That's crazy. He's one of my fights in school.
Yeah,
we actually got in a fight in school.
Yeah, it was like after class, like the whole class like crowded around, like heard you talking shit. Yeah. I heard you talking shit. It was one of those stupid things.
People created
That's awesome.
Other people like kind of like formulated.
I know exactly who it was too.
It's cool. If you want to say, if you just say Stephen on out loud,
he was definitely one of them. Yeah,
he was one of them.
I didn't like Jordan back in the day either.
Yeah.
You did that?
Okay, so all right,
so Trump supporter, right?
No, I told you.
You do come off like that.
I told you were dating this chick that I liked, and I was like, "Fuck that dude." Took my chick and my name.
Was it Blair?
Yeah.
I knew it was Blair. I knew it was Mike Taylor. Is the only girl I dated until Shelby, so they had to be Blair.
Yeah.
I just steal names, bro.
I know.
Well, so here's the thing. So we were growing up. A little bit of backstory on Jordan Granger here.
Here we go.
So we didn't realize till later that we grew up very, very similarly.
Okay.
Like we were poor white. Like what I'm not allowed to say.
White
You can
trash.
say
I'll say
it
it.
here.
Okay, yeah, we were pretty. I mean, I don't know if we were trash, but we were. We were poor.
White poor.
Pretty close. But like the difference was, it made me like not want to like associate with those like preppy kids that were like wearing the Abercrombie and all that. What made him do is like he wanted to, like, understandably, he just wanted to blend in.
Assimilate.
Yeah,
So we were complete, even though we were the same. We went different directions with it, and so like naturally, everybody wanted to make us fight. It was weird
to the point that our moms were like very similar women and liked each other and knew each other.
Yeah, they were friends too. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was actually wild because we went to Darrell Chapel together, and then I moved out of Darrell Chapel and went to Elwood Haynes for a while, and then we ended up at Central together.
Mm-hmm.
And when did you get into Key? Because we both
Sixth
ended
grade.
up in Key. See, I didn't get until 7th, as you know. So like he was in 6th grade Key, which Key,
Yeah.
Kokomo Richmond. It's for
Nerds.
nerds. For smart kids, nerds. I don't know how it happened, but he ended up in it in 6th grade. And in 6th grade, I like tested out the charts, like a 99 on percentile or something. And they're like, and then Mr. McCarter was like, he's the best student I've had, and that's not Key. Period. He needs to be in Key. So he got me into it. I did an interview. Interview went well. I ended up in it in 7th and 8th grade. It was like really great because the people I met in there, I had as much as like we all hated each other, we all had that. It was a camaraderie in a way where we all fought all the time because there was like a high level of like angst between all of us.
Well, they put you in a Shark Tank. Yeah, you guys are the best of the best. Now be the best of the best.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly
Or like comparing me to like Bo Ling is like not the same. Like we're in the same class, but Bo Ling is like Harvard graduate. Like
he's literally a rocket scientist now.
Yeah, he's like
he's the joke. Like the joke, not rocket science. He's literally a rocket scientist.
And
like,
he was a genius back then.
And he was like 3 years
I
younger
bullied
than
him.
us.
Like we were we all bullied each other. Like to be honest, like everybody in that class bullied. Some people got bullied.
I just got bullied. I didn't do the bullying.
You bullied some people.
I don't know about that.
You were way bigger than me when we got in that fight.
That doesn't mean I was bullying you.
I'm pretty sure everyone in this room is a bully, and it's a known bully of some sort.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody can claim that at some point.
No, I do remember like writing parody songs about some. Okay, I do remember that.
See, but a lot of people did it. Like that's what I'm saying. We all had our own ways, and it was pretty interesting because like by the end of Key, like in high school, when we got out of Key and everything, like everybody who I was in Key with, even the people that I wasn't on the greatest terms with in middle school. We were all so close. Like even now, like we're still
not for me.
But I mean,
just
like
you.
If you saw Lauren Clayson, you wouldn't be like, "Hey, Lauren, you wouldn't."
Well, she was cool. She was cool. But like, there's some other ones that I'm not going to name on here that just like completely made my life a living hell, and that's the reason I left Key in 8th grade. I went back to regular normie class because I was there 6th and 7th, and you were there 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
I left after 7th grade because I got bullied so much that I had anger issues, and I got put into like anger management therapy and shit. I was in like group after school because I was so angry at these.
Well, it's the school's fault. They put you in this high pressure situation, and they're just like.
But it's just really interesting to me because I feel like we have very similar backgrounds. We have very similar brains, so we're very similar. Yeah. But we went like. That,
they weren't
wrong.
What
I mean? Like it's.
Here's the thing: the Key people weren't wrong. They put people that were very similar in brains together. I think everybody in that class had very similar brains. Some people used their brains way more. Like Bo Ling, like also had like a crazy home environment. Probably, I mean, he's Asian, so do what you will. His name's Bo Ling. We all Bo Ling Ball. And then Jenny Chen. She's always commenting on my. Anytime I post anything about COVID, Jenny Chen, who went to school with, she's like a pediatric surgeon. Yeah, and she always comments. So it's like I've got like this guy with no teeth from my hometown that's on meth that's like, yeah, man, COVID sucks. And then I got Jenny Chen, neurosurgeon for children. Let me talk. I can't even get kids in here. Like, no, she's a pediatric, not neurosurgeon. She's a pediatric plastic surgeon. So like kids that are born with deformities, she fixes. She's she's a fucking saint. Like I'm never gonna even if she comes on there and we completely disagree, I'm never gonna be mean to her because I'm like, this woman's the saint and she's a genius and she's sweet.
Well, and she's doing something that can actually help people.
Yeah,
that's not awesome. Doing.
And I'm putting butt jokes on the internet.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey, don't discredit us. Know, right? We can help people too.
Yeah.
Because y'all need to laugh.
Yeah, true.
Some of y'all really, really, really need to laugh at yourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, look at you.
Yeah,
but,
look at you.
It is interesting. It is an interesting thing to me that the fact that we grew up so similarly, and then we went to this class, and they're out there doing like surgery and rocket science, and then here we are talking about butt stuff. Like, it was always going to diverge back to this anyway. It was gonna.
We were always going to be like the lower tier of the smart kids.
Well, I don't think it's a lower tier, but it's just different. It's completely a different. We took a different path.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
So it's just interesting.
We're all left, or is it left brain or right brain?
But dude, I get confused about that. So
I think
left
brain's we're not smart enough to know any of that. So it's whatever the creative thing is. That's what side of the brain we are.
It's left brain.
Is it left brain?
I think. I don't know.
I think it is.
I'm trying. You know why I'm thinking about it? Because Bo Burnham. Because he does. I am the left brain. I am the left brain.
That's why I thought it was left brain was creative.
See, every time I think I know, it's the opposite. So I'm like, I never even try to. Okay, we got the Google machine. This way, eventually we're gonna get a little laptop here and we're gonna look shit up.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
We can get Courtney to just stay in here and be like, hey, yeah, this is what we got.
Although I would be afraid, I'd be like, hey, Courtney, did you Google that? She'd be like, no, I've been playing RuneScape or something.
Yeah. Sims.
I'm playing Sims.
I couldn't find it, so.
Yeah.
No, you were right. I was wrong.
Okay,
it was just right. Right brain is creative.
Well, the only reason why is because of that Bo Burnham thing. I'm pretty sure because I'm like, I am the left brain. I am the left brain. Something. You know. And it reminds me that he's like the boring one because he's analytical. But I always thought left brain because you think left-handed people. Mm-hmm. So I think left-handed people are more creative. You know what I mean?
You think. Yeah.
But it's left-handed people use their left hand because their right brain is more dominant, so they don't use their right side. So it's like you have to remember it's opposites in some way.
Is that really how that works?
Something like that.
Neurology, like your left. Is it literally your left side is like the left side of your? It's like when you have a stroke, it's like you're not creative anymore. It's like.
Well, my son, he's like he does.
Yeah.
He's the
weirdest. Right? That's like
he's a lefty, but like in school he writes with his right hand because they were just like, you should write with your right hand. He was like, okay. Because he's a lefty. Like in sports, when we dribbling basketball, he's dribbling left.
Yeah.
If he's playing, he's batting left. He should be, but like in my family, that's very prevalent. My uncle did it. My older brother did it. They're all lefties, like in half and then half righties. So it's like weird. I'm just an all righty. I'm all right.
You're all righty.
I'm all right.
You're alt right.
I'm all right.
Well, see,
alt right.
I'm all right.
I might have to leave this podcast.
chaos. I'm just kidding. Jordan, there's a reason I brought you here. I want to talk to you about.
It's a slow burn, wasn't
This
it?
is the Fourth Reich.
Jeez.
There's a joke that I've thought about making for the longest time because like the Colts coach is named Frank Reich.
Yeah.
And all the time I want to be like, I just wish that one time indie papers would be like, we've started the Fourth Reich, and every single time like it'd be hilarious. It's the Fourth on the Reich, and I was like, this would be terrible. That's a terrible joke. Somebody would get canceled, but I'm like, I just want one person to do it.
Just one person to try it.
I'm
Not
looking
me,
at you, Bob
but-
Kravitz.
Yeah.
Mike Wells, one of those guys.
Yeah.
One of those indie star
I mean,
guys.
they got cred. They could do it, right? They
could.
kill them.
Just your last post ever. Just post that.
Yeah.
I'm out. All right, I'm out.
That's the way to go, right?
Dan Dockage might do it. The guy.
Ooh, he would.
He gets in trouble all the time.
He would. I've
He
talked
was
to him before.
Have you? I know.
Yeah.
I've pissed him off on Twitter before.
Oh no! I talk like
you did?
I used to be one of those weird guys that used to like listen to AM.
Used to
radio.
be.
Right? Yeah, still am. One of those weird guys that listen to AM radio, and he used to call in and all the time and like talk about whatever.
Yeah.
So like I've talked to Dan, and he is a weird guy.
He's just Mr. Hot Take. He's like,
yeah.
hey, what can I say that's rude? He's us.
Yeah.
He's us. Just as like a sports commentator. I love it. I hate him, but I love him too because I get it. But like I'm also like, fuck you because his takes are terrible.
Now you know how your audience feels.
Yeah. How dare you, audience?
It's like I love him, but I hate him.
We do
Fuck you,
have,
takes
we
are
do
awful.
have to have a moment of silence for Betty White and Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
we've had who else? Somebody else died too.
Sidney Poitier, Betty White, and who died right before?
There was
Betty
somebody.
White?
I can't remember, but we lost some pretty great people.
Yeah, we really
John
did.
Madden.
John
Madden,
Madden.
that
That's
was
what
it.
it was.
That was it.
That's the three.
Yeah.
Man, it's so sad. John Madden it's so important even now. Betty White is important now. Sidney Poitier was the first black man to ever get like the Academy Award, right?
Yeah, he won an
Yeah.
Oscar.
Yeah, he's the first black. I think he might be the first black person, right?
I believe so.
Wait, the first one ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the first one that ever was
The
created.
first ever existed.
Lab
huh?
created black man.
Man, so
They
like
created
we all
a
came
superior
from him.
black man, and then the white men got scared. Like, no! And they got
I mean, I believe it.
He's like,
we probably all did come from him. Did
That's
y'all see
crazy.
Did y'all see the new image of one of the very first men? It was like 120,000 years old.
Yeah.
Is what they just imagine what you think my darker grandpa would look like, right?
Is that who it was?
With really long hair.
Yeah.
That was him.
Was it straight or was it kinked?
Huh?
Was it kinked or straight?
No, super kinked.
Yeah?
Like, yeah. I was really jealous of the curls.
Depending on where they're from, because like,
really well.
like Africa's the cradle of civilization. Everybody
Yeah.
knows like Africa's the cradle. I mean, it's the Fertile Crescent. Everybody understands that.
Yeah.
The Tigris and the Euphrates.
I learned that in Key.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we learned all that shit. Do you remember when? Okay, this is gonna be random. This is gonna throw you out. You might have done something like that. But we had to pick like somebody as like we had to do an entire biography on somebody in 7th grade. Do you remember that? I want to think if you remember who you picked, because I know who I picked, and it was like
I can't remember. I remember now that you say it. I remember it vaguely that we did something like that, but I don't remember who I picked or what I did. Like I've too many lifetimes.
I feel like
Snoop Dogg.
Did you do
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's who I picked.
Yeah, I don't
Calvin
remember.
Brodus. That's why. That's how I knew his name was Calvin Brodus when I was like, man, I didn't even know that shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember you knew Ludacris's real name too. We did a project together,
Yeah.
and you were like, "Let's make the main character this guy's name because
Chris
like
Bridges.
yeah, I know it now because of that. That's how I remember it. Like in like 6th grade or whatever, 7th grade, I was like, I don't remember. I didn't know that.
Huge
guy's
fan
name.
of Ludacris. Word
Yeah.
of Mouth came out around then, and
Yeah.
that album to me was like,
That's
it
a
was
great album.
gigantic, and it was hilarious, but it was also like raunchy as fuck.
Yeah, see, I liked that one, but I liked Back for the First Time a little
Southern
bit more.
Hospitality.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good
The album was Back for the First Time, but yeah, both those albums. I kind of fell out of Ludacris after that, but like those albums, still classics.
Yeah.
It's on my Apple Music now. It comes on every once in a while at shuffle at work. Like it's so funny. It'd be like death metal and then Alanis Morissette and then Ludacris. Like what's happening?
That's one of the reasons
Saturday,
why
yeah.
I fucking
yeah.
That's one of the reasons I fucking love Shelby, and she's one of the greatest people like that I've ever like she's the greatest girl I've ever dated by far, and it's because her music knowledge. She just has that. Like there was one day I was sitting here and I was like, I never really got into Smashing Pumpkins. If I'm being honest, like I never really got. I didn't like.
I love Pumpkins.
I know you do, and I like them a lot more now. But like the what's the lead singer's name?
Billy Corgan.
Yeah, Billy Corgan. I couldn't stand.
Shout out
look at him.
NWA.
Yeah.
There you go. I was getting ready to say, yeah.
I couldn't look at the dude because I just thought he looked so goofy, and it was like
Yeah.
it felt like a dude like this is Halloween. Like everything felt like very dark, and I wasn't into that stuff at the time. And I remember like dun, 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 dun,
Now, that was pre
I
Crazy
know.
Goth.
So
Yeah.
that song, I got that riff stuck in my head for like a week, and I was like, "What the?" fuck?
I think we talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What is that fucking song?" I couldn't remember it. And I was in here, And I was talking to Shelby, and I was like, do you know a song? Like, randomly, I was like, you're not going to know this, but do you know a song? She was like, yeah, it's 1979 or whatever it is by the... And I looked it up, I was like, I love you. If I'd had a ring, she'd have got it right there. I'm like, here you go. Because it's been stuck in my head for a week, and she's like that too. Like, I'll be like messing around. I'll be like, you're doing hoe activities. And she'll be like, well, hoe tendencies, hoe, and we'll just be in the little kitchen like doing this, like idiots, dude. It's so funny.
Love it.
Yeah. I think that's like that to me is like that's my love language is like having somebody to sing stupid songs with all the time that mean nothing.
And that's why we've been friends for so long.
I know. Always
Yes.
killing it.
Nice.
Yeah, Jordan. So we're gonna start the Jordan and Matt podcast.
Oh, shit. No.
Yeah,
Two guys with beards and hair.
Honestly, I knew this was coming. It's cool. Catch me on the other podcast with Brian. We're just gonna talk about all wrestling all the fucking time.
I want to be on that one, though. I want to be there. Damn it.
You guys, damn it! I just got kicked out because of wrestling.
See, I win.
I watched a big portion of episode of.
Oh, he was over there for Dynamite. Actually, he watched some Dynamite. So.
Nice. So you saw the TBS Dynamite. You get to see Hangman and Daniel Bryan.
I was way more hung up on the fact that there's a dinosaur. That was what I was like there's a fucking dinosaur.
He was like, this just gimmicks for the sake of gimmicks, and I'm like, I know it, it's great.
I
it's
love
so
it.
good.
I love it.
It's so ridiculous, but it's awesome. Like at this point in time, wrestling fans know that wrestling is supposed to be a little ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Well, the fact that we have a dinosaur and a modern day cave boy.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect.
And then Orange Cassidy's.
And it's Luke Perry's son. It's just like, it's perfect.
Luke Perry?
It's like,
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry's son is Jungle Boy. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's crazy.
So he's like that. What's that show with? What's that terrible? You guys remember that terrible movie with Tim Allen where he has a son, but like the son,
I love that Jungle to Jungle.
Jungle to Jungle.
Dude, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that in theaters.
It's so bad, but it's good. It's so bad that it's good. But like the whole
Cat Piss?
Mimu His name's Cat Piss. Yeah, Mimu Siku.
I'm pretty sure that's Jungle Jack when he grew up. You know,
It's basically in the same vein because he's like a little white boy who's in like. It's basically the same vein as like The Last Samurai, or like it's like let's make the white guy the African tribesman or the South American tribesman or whatever.
You know, Tim Allen movies don't get enough street cred.
They don't.
The Santa Claus movies honestly changed my
all
life.
three of them are good.
Yeah.
all three
I like
of
the
them.
first one. The second one was the third one was a little bit better, but it was
Well, I mean, they helped me realize that, Christmas was all commercialized and Santa wasn't real.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Robot Santa.
Shout
always
out
freaked
Tim
the
Allen.
shit out of me. That Robot Santa in the third one. Is that the third one?
Yeah,
That's
the
a
one with Martin Short, that has Martin Short.
yeah,
in it, right?
he's Jack Frost.
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
third one. Yeah,
That one. I didn't really like it when I was younger because Robot Santa freaked me out.
yeah.
Like he just looks like it's weird. But I was watching the other day with the kids like before Christmas and shit, and I was like, man, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Santa's like basically Nazi. He's like alt-right Santa.
All right.
He's like, no, these kids are naughty. We can't give them. He's like, well, we give it like that. What's the Bernard? He's like, we give a little leeway around this time. And he's like, no leeway. And he just went right in. It was awful. I'm like, this is the worst Santa. And he's like, looks so fake and like, they did such a good job.
Yeah.
The aesthetic of it. And then he's like, the whole time, like Santa's just trying to get him Mrs. Claus. He's like, I'm just trying to get my dick wet. Like, I'm just trying to get my candy cane wet, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Did you participate? You can't. So Jordan's once again in jail. He's in jail again.
Always.
For
Black man in jail.
5 more days? Black man in jail?
Yeah.
They love to put a black man in chains.
They really do. They'll lock me down. I got shit to promote. We got people trying to do great things. I'm just trying to talk about them. Sometimes good, but a lot of times bad.
Yeah, speaking of promote, dude, all the three of us are all here. We might as well, let the cat out of the bag even more. Like,
Yes.
we do have a show where all three of us are going to be there.
Yeah.
January 29th,
Yeah.
American Dream Hi-Fi.
Oh, my God. Yeah, the only record stop in town that I believe in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't like that black label or
Yeah.
black. Yeah,
we don't like that. No.
Here's
I had to make sure.
I took a very hard stance on that, and then the other day there was like somebody had shared a post where they had some really cool drinks, and I was like, "Oh man, I want to try one of those drinks." Damn it, it's that place. So like, there's a part of me that if you see me, if you're driving by the KFC on Washington and you see a guy that looks like me with like glasses and a hood up, I'm going in there to get a fucking drink. Leave me alone. I'm just kidding. I'm not a huge fan of that guy.
No.
I don't like black eye coffees.
Yeah.
There's some things that he's done, I've heard, to women that I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Ugh." Allegedly.
Yeah. Go to American Dream. It's just better.
Yeah, American Dream School. I mean, Mike and I used to not really get along because there was like a whole story history, but like, I left all that shit in like
Look, everybody has petty shit.
Yeah.
You either learn to get over it and just keep growing, or like you don't learn to get over it and then you talk about those people incessantly, and you know, it'll be alright.
Same thing. Same thing either way. Same outcome.
I'm sure I'm on the tip of somebody's tongue out there. We all are. I'm sure
I know
somebody's still talking shit about. There's some people with the Melody Inn or used to go to the Melody Inn. They're still talking shit about you.
We're about to book there though.
We're gonna book there. So like our band, we're in a band together. Graygarden. Matty is like extraordinaire. Like once our album's coming out. That's what the 29th.
Yes.
American Dream. We're releasing our album. It's the big Corey Kokoski. Is that how you say his name?
Kokowski birthday bash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a joke on the Big Lebowski. That's why I used the same font that's on the DVD, but like it kind of got lost in translation somewhere. So now it's just the big Kokoski fest.
Yeah.
So whatever.
I'm excited because like it's gonna be a fun show. It's our band's first show in Kokomo.
In Kokomo.
Your guys' first show in Kokomo. You're releasing your album.
Yeah.
For your consideration.
Yes. The album has fucking great ass artwork.
Oh yeah.
Somehow I'm getting to MC this whole thing.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited.
And it's just gonna be great, yo.
I mean, after you guys come out and see this, and then I guarantee you're gonna want to book him even more for MCing. I could see you MCing so much shit, and I think it'd be so fun because you have a great personality. You're popping. You have a great voice.
People
love Jordan.
I'm just working. People
people
don't love me, but it's okay.
Some people do.
Some people do.
We love you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think more like music shows should have like MCs like that. Like I think it's so cool. Like I've done it in the past for like outhouse shows and stuff. Like go up and talk in between bands and like introduce stuff, and like it gets the crowd really engaged.
I love the idea, and I have some great ideas in the works. I'm hoping that we can make it fun for everybody, and that it'll be a really good time.
You will.
I hope everybody comes out. Again, it's January 29th.
Yeah.
American Dream Hi-Fi. I believe the time is 7 p.m., but you can check any one of our socials, whether it be Kokomo Press or our individual socials.
And we'll have more promotions coming out that you guys have more chance to see it. So it's like it's gonna be popping off. Jacob, if you're seeing this is the weekend you should come. I keep trying to get him to come. Come on, yo.
Yeah,
come on, come to Kokomo.
It's 7 p.m. $5 at the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is it's going to go to pay for the band. It's going to go pay for the sound. It's going to be the bands. I don't think we're not taking a cut.
We're not taking any money. But
also Ship Happens is going to be there, which is the people that are they train people to use Narcan.
Yep.
So there's a nice we're doing a little charity element there.
A
lot of cool stuff.
And also the other bands, we got Patron and Jupiter in July, who are coming from out of town. That's where the money's going. We're not just taking the money.
Yeah.
It's going to the traveling musicians.
And there's a magician.
And a magician, Jen Turnpaw.
Yeah.
I totally called Patron Patron the other day. And I was
I did the same thing, and I'm like, no, I don't think that's what it is. But I don't know for sure.
Patron has the little tilde.
Yeah.
So but that might be a good joke for you to come out with a Patron bottom, like, "Hey man, that's my favorite band." Hey.
Which, to be honest, I don't even know if it is either way. I've always seen it in print. I've never heard them actually say their name. So.
Regardless,
it's kind of funny.
Regardless, it's going to be a great night. You'll see some bands that I know that are working really hard on their crafts and just trying to entertain and express their art to the masses. So come on out,
Yeah, and we are releasing our album that we've been working on for 2 years. So it's going to be great. Matty's engineered it. He's the producer. Outhouse Records. Graygarden's the name of the band. And the album's called For Your Consideration. So look out for it. We actually have music on as well.
Yes.
So if you want to go online to like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Disney Plus Music, whatever, all these different YouTube, we have shit everywhere. Disney Plus.
And
music.
it's Graygarden.
Yes.
Gary.
Yeah.
Not an E.
And
it's all one word. Graygarden.
Yeah. Graygarden.
Because we're stylizing it.
Where did you guys pull your name from?
It's a good question. Fallout 4.
Fallout 4.
That's right.
But no, there's some really cool different things because in the album there's transitions in between songs that we take from a reading of War of the Worlds.
Oh, okay.
And so there's alien stuff looming all the time, and it's all old timey radio static and stuff.
Yeah,
and then
I love it. I love the concept.
Yeah, and Fallout has this 50s aesthetic, like the bombs dropped and they were stuck in that the 50s.
Yeah.
So in Fallout 4 there is a settlement there called Graygarden that is most settlements will be ran by people survivors of the nuclear holocaust or whatever, but this one is literally completely ran by robots.
Yeah.
So we thought that was kind of a cool
yeah. It's a cool name too.
It's got some cool other analogies that we probably didn't think of, but the more you think about it, it's it's kind of a cool artistic.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
You
It's
know,
got a
you
nice
appreciate
aesthetic,
that.
too.
So,
I do, absolutely.
The aesthetic is cool.
Well, it doesn't, and then like all the robots in the settlement all have like Mr. Red or Mr. or Mrs. Green, and it's like it's kind of cool because they're all the color,
Yeah.
but the garden's gray, and it's because they're all robots.
Which
So it's kinda-
which I thought was interesting too. That like our name is Graygarden, but the album cover is so vibrant and
Yes.
colorful.
Yes.
I don't know if you have the editing possibility, but you can
Yeah.
like put up a
I can
picture
put it
of it.
up,
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool. Like we actually used we contracted an artist out of Greece to
Yeah.
make that, and like she painted it in less than a week, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty lit,
Yeah.
dude.
Holy shit.
Like I gave her the idea. Like we had a basic concept of
Yeah.
like the hummingbird and the phonograph, and then I told her like something surrealist, like Salvador Dali style. That's what I picture. And then literally in like 6 days, she came up with that whole thing and painted it from scratch. And I'm like, like my mind is blown. So
Yeah,
super
Matt
cool.
in general is a good artist, so he kind of knows all the things. So to him, if his mind's blown, I'm like, my mind's blown.
It was
'Cause I
so
don't draw
good.
like that.
It was so much better than I expected it to come out. So it was really,
I
really
loved
cool.
it just because every time I look back at the artwork, I see something else different. I see a different little thing, and
Yeah.
like that. That's my thing is if I can go back and I see just different detail or a different level of detail or that's why they put that there.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes it hit. And it like the artwork is definitely like surrealist. Or,
Yeah.
You know, it gives you that dolly feel, and like
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's
just random.
It's really cool too because like we were actually talking about it in our band chat about the different artwork because we had like revisions, that we can use with her because we got her from Fiverr.
Yeah.
But as we were talking about it, I started noticing other details, and I was like, "Oh shit! There's like water back there that I never saw
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Like there's like grass, and then it blends seamlessly into water,
Yeah.
seamlessly into the chessboard." And I'm just like,
The chessboard's like moving. It's like a chessboard.
almost
but
like
it's
water.
moving with water.
Yeah.
It's like water.
It was, and I never noticed that it was that there was that many layers. So then I got the source file of the Photoshop, and I started playing with the layers, whatever. And she actually had a road behind all of that. Originally, it was like a desert road with like that sky with the eyes, and like so it's really cool. Like I could see her process and like the way I could see the way that she was coming up with it, and it was like really really interesting. So like there's a lot more layers, not just physically, but like layers to the art itself.
I think it's super unique for a lot of. I mean, I'm not. It's our band, so it's like obviously I'm gonna have an opinion probably pretty good because it's my band. But like at the same time, like it's like there's not. I don't really see much like that. A lot of album covers are like something real like dark or sinister, especially with the style of music we do, or like something really like kitschy, like something that's like, if it's a pop punk band, then we've got to put beer cans and like, pizza, and like we got to leave our hometown. And
I thoroughly enjoy like musicians that like take a lot of time and thought into their artwork because I think it completes the process of what the album is supposed to make you feel or make you sense in a sense. Going back to where you said you put like little War of the World riffs in the album, it kind of made me think of The Weeknd just dropped a new album. And like
on FM, baby.
Yeah, and all through it, like you had these little riffs of like old radio ads, and like it that whole thing took me back.
Do you know who the voice was? Who did the original one? Like the first one when he's like, "Sit back, relax." You know who that is?
Oh, wasn't Quincy? Right?
No,
Was it
Jim Carrey.
Oh no shit!
He fucking got
Really?
Jim Carrey. Yeah, so
I
like
need to check that album out.
in the
I haven't
beginning,
heard
it's very 80s. It's like very 80s inspired. So
That's why I love The Weeknd though.
Exactly.
Like I love that 80s kind of feel, but modernized. It's like it's
we're
cool.
we're both like we both love like Maneater by like
yeah.
that's
All
something
those.
that our band has talked about covering. I guess
we just sang The Weeknd at karaoke a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
Like, that was cool.
That was funny. We did Blinded by the Lights.
Yeah.
It's a pretty badass fucking
Like
song.
it.
Yeah, you killed that though. I'm like I know the song way less than I thought I did.
I love
but-
that song. like I just sing it all the time.
I'm
Man.
blinded by the light.
It's just it feels so like it would be on the soundtrack for Scarface, and I'm just like it's so fucking cool. And it came out like what last year or the year before. Like it's just crazy.
It's
to me.
not old.
No.
It's crazy to me that like you can. I don't know. I like that kind of thing where it's like you can echo a different era of music, but still make it modern sounding somehow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I've always
And it
liked
doesn't
The
hurt
Weeknd.
that like he's so like artistic that like every album he does, he has like a character. He and Tyler both do. Like Tyler the Creator does that too, and I really enjoy that because as guys who grew up watching wrestling and guys who really like to act, and we have our TV show, we have a lot going on with that, and we like to do skits and shit. Like to me, I love that. Like he did an entire album where he pretended like he had plastic surgery on his face, and then this one he's old. He's an old man, and he's got like really bad old makeup on. And so everything's gonna be him as an old man.
Hair's
so,
all grayed out.
He actually hair looks kind of similar to yours, just a little longer. Yeah, just more gray though. You've got the orange. Yeah. Your hair looked great on that promo you caught. I was like, when you turned around and your hair was in the promo, I was like, damn, Jordan's hair's looking fly as shit. I was like, your hair's looking like, especially standing next to Alcon. He's got the dreads going.
Yeah.
I'm like, and you have the curls going. I'm like, it looks good because you guys don't have the same aesthetic, but also feel like you guys have the same aesthetic. You're wearing that purple fucking jumper.
Look, man, I fanboy over Alucard because I look up to him, like, and he's doing really good things. Plus, I think like he's gonna do great things. Again, shout out NWA because you'll see him there one day. I swear to God. Just working, getting a chance to just work with him a little bit. I was like, holy shit, man, we kind of play off of each other really, really well. Like, just doing that little bit and stuff. Like, I was like, oh. That was good. That felt really good. So like,
you guys had a really great vibe together. It worked out. You know what I mean? I really liked you guys mirrored each other with some of the giddy goofiness. I was like, it reminded me of old school wrestling, like of the heels, like all being assholes. Like it felt like that.
Look, that's what I want to bring to wrestling. If I know a lot of people in the world think that shit like that is kind of corny, but like
I love it. I love it.
It makes me pop and as long as other people enjoy it, good.
Well, I mean, you were able to take a character in 3 months at AACW and get people loathing you, where they're like want to throw stuff on stage. Like, you suck! Like they fucking hated you. And I mean, within from the start to the 3 months to the end, like you completely became like probably one of the biggest heels in the show. Like, I mean, you and maybe Brody
Bodkins.
He's pretty big. And what's the
Travis Southern?
Yeah. I'm like you. To me, like you got the crowd into it because they hated you so much, and it helped Dylan. It helped the clown with
hysterics.
Yeah. I love that guy.
That's what wrestling is, and I don't know. That's how I see it. That's how I approach it. I feel like at least with wrestling and like things like that, I approach it almost similarly to how you guys approach music.
Yeah.
Where like you really, really have a vision on how this is gonna go, and you have a vision on how you want people to feel from it, and I don't necessarily care if people fully get what I'm doing. I just want them to feel something.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah. I honestly think between that, it's very similar to being in a band. You guys doing it because what you do. If you do it right, it complements the baby face so well because if you're bad enough, you give them a breath of air where they're like, okay, we want this guy. They root for him because they hate you so much.
Yeah.
So it works in tandem really well, and I think that like what you're doing with that is really great. And I hope you can let's book this guy more, man. I saw you in that merge thing. We needed to get you booked more places because like I just want to see more.
You will definitely be seeing more of me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And definitely if you guys are into local wrestling or in indie wrestling at all, come check out the Emerge shows. I know I just was just at the show last night that they did, and it was an amazing show. They did some really great things, and there is going to be another show. I believe it's February 5th, and if you guys can make it out to Trafalgar, Indiana, I believe that's where it's going to be. But like, it's a good show, good family-oriented show. Like, it's a lot of fun, so come out, check out what people are doing. So
you guys have way cooler shirts on mine. It's just a bunch of Nikes. I saw like you got the Flash looking all
Squatchy
crazy.
Young Bucks.
Young Bucks. You guys are killing it.
I found this at Vendor City, and I was like buying it right now, because it's like the Bullet Club one too.
Yeah,
I was like, damn.
Shit, I would have bought it.
It was like $4, dude. I was like, fuck yeah.
$4? That's crazy, dude.
There's one. I love going in there and just like looking at all the random strap. But there's one booth that has T-shirts, and I never find anything in my size that's cool. And I was like walking by, it was actually Christmas shopping, and I saw this. And I'm like, oh, I've got to grab that. Like,
I know somebody who would love this for Christmas.
Me. Yeah, it was super cool. But I never find anything that I liked in there. But it was cool.
Fuck, man. I'm enjoying this heat in here. You know, I'm just happy we're not stuck at the Dollar General in Galveston right now.
Yeah,
transition. Let's transition.
Well, I mean, the employees aren't stuck there either. So
nobody's stuck
anymore.
there. Yeah, somebody is. Maybe the guy's
somebody.
fixing it.
I would have walked out like they did. Fuck that place. Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
going
so
home.
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm at my place of business. I don't know where I work. If I'm at my
not
place of
called that
business, and
anymore.
they're like, yeah, that's true. if I'm at the factory, I would just say the factory. If I'm at the factory and it's cold in there, I'm just bundling up and making my money. I'm like, I don't care, but I get it. There for minimum wage or a little bit more, I'm not sitting in the cold like that.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't blame it. The joke I put on the page was like, just turn on the oven and open it. Like, just turn on the oven. Like, when I was a kid, it's hot. It's really cold in the house, and our heat's not working. Turn the oven on.
Yeah.
Turn the oven
on.
Do they have? I don't think they have ovens in Dollar General.
I know that's what the joke
Just
was.
saying.
I think.
Yeah.
This makes no
Just open the
sense.
oven.
Damn it!
Another solution that doesn't work, other than make people sit in the cold. Like, could you imagine, like, if you're a person going to buy something from the Dollar General and you walk in there and it's freezing cold and you just see the fucking worker like shattering and you're like I wouldn't want to buy anything. I'd be like, I'm going home. I'll just go to Speedway.
Yeah, I'd just be like, yo, fam, you want to warm up in the car with
car?
me? Shit, fuck this shit.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, man, we got to share this and bust it out because I'm like, this shit is hilarious to me. Like, the fact that they thought they would have to come to work.
The craziest thing for me is that like people are like will kind of drag people like, well, they should have just stayed. Da, da, da. You know, fuck those people.
Yeah.
First and foremost, like, you don't have to work under like extreme conditions. It like we do live in a modern day society where things can get fucking fixed, and for multi-million-dollar corporations like Dollar General, I think they can afford to get those fixed and probably get them fixed with quickness because takes a phone call or a text real quick.
Yeah. I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited that they were able to do that and piss people off and make some people. And I honestly, it felt like more people were on their side than they weren't. But I saw somebody in the comments was like, "Well, I mean, I good for them, but construction workers are out here."
I'm like, rolling their eyes.
And I'm like, construction workers rolling their eyes. I'm like, I'm pretty sure when you sign up to do construction work, you get paid more than minimum wage for sure, and you get paid for the conditions. Mm-hmm. Now, if they were like, "Hey, Dollar General workers, we can't get the heat fixed. Come in here, we'll give you an extra $5 an hour." Maybe that might have enticed them to be like, "Oh, $5 an hour, I'll do that shit. I'll come in there and sit in there all day."
Yeah.
But if you're going to pay them the exact same amount and then make their conditions worse, I just don't see the point.
Yeah. Just plug in some space heaters. Like, how hard is that?
Yeah, seriously, it really isn't.
You know what's hard here lately?
What?
Finding babysitters.
I love the
transition. Finding a babysitter.
You guys are pros.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's a lot harder to find babysitters now because all the holidays are over. The New Year's is over. We all use Grandma on New Year's. Grandma had all the kids on New Year's.
No lie.
Yeah, but now it's like, I can't find. Grandma's busy now. She's back to work. She's not off work now.
Well, now the solution is, hey, let me find a babysitter on social media, which seems like an okay solution, except for if you're in Kokomo on Kokomo garage sales and you're cheating on your fucking husband.
Yeah, I don't understand the inclination for people in Kokomo to be like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go to the internet with all my problems.
Yeah.
I don't know. I talk a lot of shit. I say a lot of things openly on the internet. I'm okay with it, actually. Yeah. I'm also generally okay with people bashing me because it happens more often than not. But like,
you're a heel, so.
Yeah.
In real life and in wrestling.
Yeah.
Facts.
He's a heel human. He's a human heel.
I like it.
That's why I always think that, like, when I see like things that you say and post online, I'm like, yeah, he's just like working these people. Like, I don't even know.
I know some people in town have to probably literally think that I'm probably one of the worst people.
Yeah.
Like, oh man,
I hate this guy.
If you guys only fucking knew,
Yeah, you're way more chill than what they think. I think that they would think you were like, excuse me, you used that word wrong. And they expect you to be something completely different than what you are. But you just are who you are.
No, I don't know. Like I'm very observational.
Yeah.
Like and just
it's good for comedy.
Yeah, So weird segue. Like I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld here lately.
Yeah.
Just streaming the fuck out of it and just like I. This is super white. I don't care.
So the white side's coming out right now. I'm just kidding.
I mean, you gotta look at all sides. I'm trying to entertain lots of people.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. nobody thought Jerry Seinfeld was a heel for just pointing out stupid shit, except for when you were calling a baby ugly. But like, I don't know. I like to take that part of real life into real life, and that's what I'm trying to do.
See, I feel like he was the baby face, and like it turns out that Kramer was the heel.
Yeah.
Kramer was
Like
definitely
he was
the
just
heel.
a bad. Yeah, he was.
Well, Kramer definitely was the heel. If you like,
well, I just
I love watching. I love
George was the heel. Because he was always the negative. He was always the antagonist. He was always the one that was like something terrible was happening.
Yeah, I was mostly referring to Kramer in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A little hard shoot.
Yeah, you
there,
can't be
but-
saying that stuff and then be like,
He just needs to bring you on stage, and when he wants to say it, be like, "You're being a," and then you say it for him, and then he's fine.
No, man, I'm not trying to get banned in real life,
Bro,
like, because I can't even say cracker.
Yeah,
I typed it.
I told you. Listen, you can't do it with a hard A. That's what I told you. No hard A's.
Or
hard R's. It was hard R's.
It was a hard ER. I need to do it with a hard A.
The hardest A.
Yeah.
The hardest.
Just put it in the
You'd
image.
think I
push
would've known that.
It gets by the algorithm.
Yeah.
So-
You think I would have known that? Fucking Facebook.
I saw there was that Hard Rock. Did you see that Hard Rock Cafe thing that I sent you guys?
Yes.
It was like Hard Rock Cafe, but on the
The
rock,
ROC
the
was
OCK was off, so it just said Hard R. And it was like this guy took that, and then this one that said Six Flags, but the L was broken. And it was like, which one you going to, Hard R or? I was like, this is the funniest shit I've ever seen. I was like, I'm so childish. I was like, I want to post this so bad, but that's a 30-day ban.
Oh yeah,
immediately.
100%, yeah.
That's what somebody on my page wrote something, and I was like, I wanted to say that's GAA, and I was like, I didn't want to put the word because I get in trouble. Because he said something about I put a post that was like somebody had posted about going to Build-A-Bear, and I was like, what about Build-A-Bear but with flashlights?
Yeah.
It's like patent pending, and I was like,
Yeah,
I put
I
that
saw
up, and then somebody was like, what about Bang-A-Bear? And they're like doing different ones, and I was like, well, that sounds a little good because bears, everybody knows that connotation. I would be a bear. I got some hairy chest going. Weird. We'd be bears. If we were gay, we'd be bears.
Yeah.
You
Like a pout.
would be.
Are you gender assuming bears?
Yeah, no, bears are men.
How are you assuming bears?
Bro,
gender?
there's a hard man element to bears. Are there female bears? I don't think there are.
I'm gonna sit this one out.
I mean,
in gay culture.
how do you have baby bears if there's no female bears?
No, I'm talking about. Are you think I'm talking about?
Man
literal
makes a
bears?
good point.
Are you talking about literal bears?
Yeah.
I'm talking about gay bears, like the gay culture bears.
Oh.
We would be bears because we
Yeah,
have
like
shared.
big hairy guys.
That's
Power,
when he said build a bear, but he said bang a bear, and I was like, that sounds a
Like
little bit
power
more
bottoms?
like LGBT, yeah.
Right, yeah.
But like a bear, I think in gay culture is just like a hairy like man. That's like kind of like a lot of times they're bald and they have beards.
I gotta read into these incognations like a little harder because again, like I
I
can't
grew up
even.
on the internet, though.
I don't even know what the reverse of a cracker is, and like now you're telling me about like homosexual.
Well,
bears.
reverse of a cracker. That's a cookie, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the opposite?
Maybe.
That's
A
funny.
Triscuit.
What's the opposite of a cracker?
That's not a real cracker.
Crackers are white, salty, and dry. So so we'd have to think
It'd
something
be wet,
that's
sweet, and
dark.
Dark.
What would, like a biscotti, maybe? Biscotti,
Like a brownie.
a brownie.
Brownie.
That's
It's
Yeah,
moist
there we
and
go.
it's dark and it's
that's what.
yeah.
So if we did that exact same meme with brownies, I think a lot less people would do it. That's not
Brownie,
racist, right?
brownie already sounds racist.
I know,
Though, when you
right?
say it.
You know that
You
it
can't use
sounds
anything with
really.
colors.
It sounds really, really racist.
All right, how about like
What's
what
something?
are those? Let me think here. I don't know, like a ho ho or a,
Yeah,
no, that sounds bad too.
That's
Damn
not,
it.
no.
You know what? I think
Cosmic
ho-ho,
brown- no, that's
ho-ho
still
might
brownie.
be acceptable.
Some
Ho-ho might be acceptable.
ding dongs.
Ding dong. There you
That
go.
might work.
Why do all of these things sound like?
I know they're all sexual.
Yeah, like what?
Ho hos sounds like hoes. Ding dongs, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, I don't they just have a fucking treat called the Dick, and it's just like a fucking dick flavored. Everybody would buy it.
I do.
Like, Hostess came out with dicks again.
Patent pending.
Yeah, Twinkies. Twinkies. Now we've turned Twinkies
yeah.
into
Twinkies
something.
a thing.
Yeah.
like a twink. Like
Twink.
everything gets turned
Twink.
into like gay
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
I love
See, you have
gay
a-
people always appropriate everything.
So you don't watch Always Sunny, but there's an entire scene where they literally break down all these terms, and it's so funny. I think you'd get a big
Damn
kick
it.
out of it.
Twinks, half the things that I joke
twinks,
about, he's
tinks.
like, bro, they've done this on.
Yeah,
Always
I know.
Sunny."
It's funny. He writes it for the show, and I'm just like, dude, this is a total gag right from Always Sunny. And like,
I don't watch the show.
have you watched the show?
You're gonna have to watch the show. I have to watch the show. Too.
It's so good.
At some
Like,
point,
I will
he's gonna.
binge it.
I don't want to because
they're
I
on season 15
authentically-
now. It's crazy, but
I
I
authentically
will
come
be.
up with jokes that are similar to the
I know.
show. I feel like maybe I don't like watching the show because it's like looking at that mirror.
Yeah,
Maybe at this
because
point,
they have a similar sense of humor.
motherfuckers are in my
Yeah.
brain. I
Yeah.
gotta turn
But
them off.
there's an entire like 10-minute conversation. It goes on way too long where they like distinguish like bears from twinks to different like power bottom. No, I generate the power from the top, and I do this and like it's so funny.
So honestly, what I've learned is that gay culture and that black culture, we appropriate things and we make them our own.
Yeah, you steal things.
Yeah.
Thieves. You steal all the cool
That's
words.
racist. Goddamn it.
Good for nothing swindlers. Now I'm going to jail.
Excuse me while I explain to the cisgender white male.
I'm
white
one of
gay
the,
male.
I'm one of those. Too.
About theft.
Yeah. Listen,
Do you know what manifest destiny is?
It means it's mine, no, boo boo, I'm white. No, boo boo, I'm still in your land, tutu.
That's how that worked. That's how.
Yeah.
I don't know, but without that, we wouldn't have California.
This is true.
You're right. We should have never done this. California. Push it, but everybody stand on the other side of California, push it in the sea.
It's gonna end up there eventually anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna end up in the
It's
sea.
gonna go chill with Alaska.
Yeah.
Fuck kangaroos.
That's like every person I know who's like super right wing. That's like, your Obama bought some like what is it? Like oceanfront property. Obviously, he doesn't believe it's real climate change, and I'm like, or he knows it's not going to happen in his lifetime, and he's like, hey, these are pretty good to use. I'm like, but then it does make you laugh when they're like it's going to happen soon, and then you see people.
Cool. If the world ends, I want some oceanfront property to die on.
Mm-hmm. Bro, it's
Fuck
like
it.
let's see. It's 34. Yesterday it was like 7 degrees out. Today it's 34 degrees. It rained last night. I thought it was gonna. My mom popped her ass on the step. She walked out last night. Boom, hit her ass. And she's like, "You need some salt out here." And I'm like, "You all right? You all right, Mom?" And then we got in the car and then we were driving. And I was like, she's like, "Man, this weather's bad, but I like it more than snow." And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "I just don't like the ice." And she goes, "There's not really ice. It's like freezing rain." I was like, "Mom, you just busted your ass on ice. What do you think freezing cold rain is? What do you think freezing water is?" I was like, "My mom's crazy.
Yeah,
She's crazy."
I really do pray for your mom.
I know.
Yeah,
You need to.
Yeah,
she needs it.
One day she's gonna
Jesus.
understand, and it's cool.
Dude, she's like so far down the Q rabbit hole. Like that's why watching that Q show, I was like, man, this is like going to a family reunion.
that's why my mom and your mom don't hang out anymore. She went one way, and my mom's like, "No, that's crazy. I ain't doing it."
Shelby's mom also has like gets into some conspiracy stuff too, but she's like not. She's more like anti-government conspiracies. Where my mom's like, Trump's making it back soon, and I'm like, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening, Mom. I don't know. I just don't see it happening. And I'm just like the entire time I'm just like, yeah.
Why would we?
Yeah.
I still don't understand why we want him back.
I never understood why we wanted him from the beginning. Like,
I mean, that was true. It was allegedly lesser of two evils because they were both evil.
Yeah.
Plus,
there's a third option. We need to make it happen.
plus the mass, plus just misogyny.
Yeah, I think the world would rather have a racist man than a woman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
She can only work 3 weeks a month.
Like she's 90 years old. She doesn't have a period anymore.
like once a month we're going to war. God damn it.
She doesn't have Shark Week. She's got Baby Powder Week. She's got Dust Week. There ain't nothing going on down there.
I feel
Ask Bill.
I feel like a lot of people just wanted to, like, if the president was a piece of shit, they feel better about themselves. It's kind of like the reason I watch
That's the
Always
truth.
Sunny, because
Yeah.
they're terrible people, and it makes me feel good about myself when I watch them. I'm like, oh, I'm not as bad as these fictional characters. I feel like, in essence, Donald Trump is a fictional character.
Yeah.
He was created.
He was at least funny, dude. Like
He
Joe
was
Biden
funny.
is so boring and old.
I get it now.
And he's starting to turn orange too. Like
A lot of people hated on Obama because they couldn't beat him. He
Yeah.
was like, he had this aura.
He had a lot of drip for a president.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was. I don't know.
He has swag.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
people like swag.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who don't like it when it's
Yeah.
their president.
Well, that's called
He's cooler than me. That's weird.
That's called jealousy.
Yeah.
See now, and then when we got Trump in office, they were like, "Oh, it's attainable."
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Hey, I can be president. Shit.
Yeah, like when
I'll
you're
be
a kid,
35 next
anybody
year.
can be president. Now you know it's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're born with $1 billion, you can be president.
Yeah.
Well, you just got to be a salesman. That's all he was. He was a salesman. He swindled people. He knows. Okay, so I sold cars for many years.
Yes.
I don't sell cars anymore, so I can say this now. But yeah, there are certain people that I'm like, I know the customers when they walk in. I know I want that person.
Yeah.
He can see that kind of person that he can influence.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and I made a lot of money doing it. But and I feel like that's he just knows how to play his cards right.
Yeah.
And he avoids
not overplay his hand.
Right. He didn't overplay. He avoids certain things, and then certain people he focused on because he knows he can manipulate them into whatever he wants. And and it's true because they're still blindly following him after he's not president anymore. It's so weird to me.
I don't think you can name a president ever like that in our lifetime that we've been alive for sure. That hasn't been a gigantic disappointment. Like Obama was a disappointment. As much as we liked him as he was a great head of state, but he didn't really accomplish much while he was in, and he was just as bad of a war profiteer as any of them.
Because they were very party for 8 years.
The one thing that Trump did that no other president has done that I actually appreciated was we didn't get in any more wars. Do you guys remember when wars stopped? Now we're about to fight Russia over Ukraine again, and I'm like,
well, because he was besties with Putin, so it's cool.
They hated each other. No, everybody said that, but I felt like they hated each other. They were both they're both white dick swinging guys, where they both were I'm the big man, I'm the big man, I'm the big man, I'm the big man.
Yeah, they were me and you in a band together. It's clashing egos all the time.
Well, it's funny because at least we figured out just two dicks. What do they call that? Docking? They're just docking all the time.
Sword fighting across the streams.
Putin's definitely got his foreskin, so he's like, I'll put it on yours. So Putin's gonna win that docking thing.
Yeah.
And Trump's you ever seen that? They had that that's the weirdest thing about the whole thing with I remember seeing some of the worst shit with Obama where they would make him look like an ape and do stupid shit like that and hanging from a tree, which the connotation of if they did it with Trump you wouldn't care as much because but then you also with Trump you had what's Kathy Griffin with the severed bloodied head and then you had Trump, they put that statue in New York City with where he's super fat, gross, and this the tiniest dick possible. I'm no matter what, people get offended on both sides, but I'm no matter what, people are going to be shitty and they're going to hate him.
He didn't pose for that one?
No, he didn't. Oh. No, actually I did.
My thing is
looking good. Yeah, thanks,
I mean either way you go, it's just this is why I like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because it's if you let the Sith run wild, you let the Jedi run wild. There's got to be balance. Any extreme one way or the other. And it goes to shit. Yeah. It's you just got. It's got to be some kind of balance,
They're really
perfectly balanced.
I think that's the whole thing should be. We
say it all the time.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's one of the best lines I think from that show is perfectly balanced. This whole thing because that's it's so usable and everything. But you're definitely right. I think that that's why the pendulum swings constantly from left to right over and over again. And we're never gonna get somebody in the middle because then what would we do? What would we do?
Right.
Clock would stop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There'd be no outrage. What?
It'd be the simulation would end and we'd all get out of the Matrix.
Yeah. The birds would start falling out of the sky. It's oh god.
You think that's the goal? That's what whatever the creator is waiting on. He's just I'm waiting on everybody to figure out that you don't have to fight like this and just all of this to stop. Once it stops, killing them all.
Yeah, then it's the end of the world, just like that. Everybody's getting along. Nope, can't have that.
Oh, this simulation got there finally. Okay, reset. Yeah. Just reset.
And then we'll be in another simulation of a simulation, and the aliens are simulating this simulation, like that Rick and Morty episode.
They just keep simulating until we all get to the point where we can accept alien overlords. Yeah, so we're just waiting to that point.
I mean, I've been waiting for years.
Yeah, we're just waiting on it.
This is why I got their tribute on my arm. I don't like butt
stuff.
You do.
So that way, when they come down, they understand that I'm appreciative of them.
You don't like butt stuff? Why?
Truly, the reason I don't like butt stuff is because I'm saving myself for the aliens.
That makes sense because then it's going to be then it's going to feel the best because it's going to be you have no tolerance for it, so it's just going to be.
I want them to know that
rush of emotion.
I want them to know that I'm pure and
I'm not pure. I'm a sinner. I've got shit in my butt.
Oh shit! Yeah. He's just I love the idea in my head that Jordan's finally the aliens come. They take you and me. We're disappear, and then they get to Jordan and they're like, damn, this shit's tight, bro. And he's gonna be I waited for you, and they're gonna be all right, man, you can stay because your butthole is tight. They're
all calling dibs on him, oh shit.
I got Jordan.
Y'all been playing the game all wrong.
We put that there so you guys wouldn't touch it. That's why we hid it back there. Me and Matt are we're gonna touch it.
Yeah, of course.
And Jordan's don't touch it. Leave it alone.
It's like the alien rapture, and he's the only one that gets to go. What? It's because you
did
butt stuff. He shouldn't have done butt stuff.
That's for us. We put it back there for us. God. That's so ridiculous. Oh, fuck, man. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you do have the Anunnaki. You know everything about the Anunnaki. I know.
I got Gilgamesh up here. I got the Anunnaki here. I got the Star of Anu the Tree of Life Sumerian.
Which looks oddly like a super metal band's guitar at the end of a guitar.
Oh, that like a headstock. It looks like a headstock. Yeah,
I know. Exactly.
I know. And I always thought it was cool.
Yeah, it's like how many fucking knobs you need, bro? It's like I got a. You have a 6-string guitar? Yeah, mine's 25.
Yeah,
25-string guitar.
Yeah,
that seems like something you'd have though.
Well, the correlation between this is it's like DNA strands, because they said that the old texts say that the Anunnaki could manipulate DNA, like stem cell research and shit. We're talking 200,000 years ago. It's crazy. Yeah. Just like he's got a wristwatch on here, and that was from a tablet from they found under Iraq. That's a couple thousand years old. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But
he's like, want to buy a sundial?
There's been pictures of the creatures that came from the sky using computers and stuff, and they had a spaceship and all this stuff. Like it's kind of insane. But like
Was it us from the future?
I've been saying that forever. I'm like, this is like, I really think that because if someone came from the sky, not to derail this entire podcast, if someone came from the sky to primitive man, and they had all this crazy, like if we came down, like we time traveled and we traveled down from another planet somewhere, say in the future, global warming happens and we have to go to another planet, and we come back to this planet and we pull out our phone and we're like, look, I have all the information in the entire world. To primitive man, that looks like this is God. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy technology. They can't even fathom that technology. So like, I've been saying forever, like somewhere in time we find time travel and we go back in time and we just create like a time loop. Yeah. And like, we are God, what people thought was the higher power, because we have this technology. It's mind blowing to think about though, because they have, like I said, there's literal cave paintings of guys in metal containers pushing buttons and going to space. Like, we know what that is now. Back then they had no idea. They thought it was God.
I'm just imagining like one woman getting off of a spaceship and they don't know what they went through, a black hole, and they're like where the fuck are we? This looks exactly like Earth, but it looks way cleaner. And they get down there, and they come out, and all these primitive men are standing around, and the woman looks at her phone and she's like, I don't have any fucking bars.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we gotta get back in and go back. And then they go through the black hole, and then what we find out is the black hole is our buttholes. And we're right back to the buttholes.
Oh, butt stuff. And Jordan's left out again.
Or he's got the ultimate butthole.
Yeah, the ultimate butthole. It's tight. Yeah.
Never mind. The funny thing is, you're going to have the tightest butthole.
My butthole is desirable, obviously.
But the good news is that at least Maddie and I both know how to bear down a lot more when it's time to get our colonoscopy or get our prostate exam. You're going to be
excited about it. Like, I can't wait.
Yeah, like we're gonna already be lubed up, ready to go. Like, go ahead, start. Yeah, you're gonna have to get
I had no idea I was coming here to talk about butt stuff, but I am very comfortable, so it's...
Yeah, who gives a shit? I'm 30, dude. At 30 years old, I feel like you just talk about what you want to talk about.
Well, I mean, I'm comfortable on the podcast because I'm comfortable with butt stuff, so...
I know.
Yeah. It's not the gift that you thought you were going to get, it's the gift that you needed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not the Dark Knight.
Exactly.
It's a really dark night.
The Brown Knight.
The Brown Knight. Brownie.
Back to Brownie again. Man, so many... It's all cyclical.
I really wish black people would have just got together on January 6th this year and been like, let's storm the Capitol. Fuck it. They did that. Let's do it again.
That would be fun.
Every year, just a different ethnicity storms the Capitol. We'll have brown people next year after that. Then
then they can't pin it on
Let's not start with black people doing that.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Today there was a mass shooting. Eyewitness News. And then next, we gotta go to commercial. It's the Nissan sales event. And it's like, nobody gives a shit. It's like the word. The Nissan sales event.
It's like that movie you hate.
Yeah, Disclaimer.
Have you watched it yet?
I want to watch it. I haven't had the time frame to watch an entire movie. Wow. And there's been so many good things in between. Like last night, I was thinking about watching it. Okay, so this is weird to bring up, but we don't use our TV in our bedroom anymore. Like, we stopped using it. We used to use it all the time. Like, when we were roommates, we would watch movies in our room all the time and hang out in there. And now it's like we've got that big TV in there, so we just watch it in there. Or I'm in here on my iPad and watching YouTube. So I don't really use my TV in my room. So I booted it up last night, and I'm like, I have to update every fucking thing. Yeah. Well, Netflix updated quick, so I put on Netflix. I'm like, what am I going to watch? And I found The Wedding Singer, and I'm like,
oh, shit.
I haven't watched The Wedding Singer forever. And I put it on, and I was like, this shit is it's such a good movie, dude. Like, people, all the Adam Sandler movies, a lot of them are fucking goofy and like the
90s ones were good though.
They're good, but The Wedding Singer to me is such a time capsule movie, of the 80s. It's so funny, dude. And I was I watched that last night, but I didn't have time to watch Don't Look Up, and Shelby was passing out, so I was like, I guess we won't watch it. But
Guess we'll watch The Wedding Singer.
so I'll just put on The Wedding Singer. I didn't think I'd finish it. I got to the point where she threw the paper. He's like, I am an asshole, and I was like, I almost made it to the end before I fell asleep.
Yeah, that movie's just like all over the place, and like I need to watch it because
it's good.
They say it's similar to like Idiocracy. You know, it's like, and I love that movie. So, but you were right in saying that it's like everybody's talking about it. And it's just like it kind of makes you not.
Well, they said
watch
it broke a bunch of Netflix records.
Really?
Apparently, it's the most streamed. But I mean, you're talking
It's
Jennifer
got,
Lawrence.
It's got Leo, like
Leo,
shit. It's
Jonah
like,
Hill. I mean, it's got Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, Meryl Streep,
those
yeah.
four right there are like, they're all like Academy Award winner nominees. Like Jonah Hill's like, and he plays like the chief of staff / son of the president,
which is kind of
son
funny
of
in
the
itself.
president, who is Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
Meryl Streep plays the president, which is cool as shit.
Yeah.
That's perfect for her.
yeah.
Don't Look Up is weird for me.
Did you watch it?
Well, here's my story.
Okay. Let's hear it.
It came out before people were really talking about it. I was like, what is this? And like I checked out the trailer, I threw it on, and I was like, oh, okay, this is. I started it. This is. And I started it, and I was like, oh, this is all right. But like I really just threw it on to go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
That was, and then like a few days later, everybody's watching. I got to go back and like watch through it.
So you watched it, but you didn't watch it.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. Like I heard the bits. I was like, man, this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I should probably be watching this, but I'm like tired, just sort of thing. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta go back and watch it.
Did you watch it yet?
I haven't watched it.
Neither.
I remember seeing the trailer before everybody was talking about it, and I was like, this is a really interesting, like the way the world is right now.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting take on things, especially if it's comedy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then everybody started talking about it, and I'm like, I didn't watch it, and it's like almost like everybody's not talking about it. I don't want to be that trendy guy.
Yeah.
So you and me, you and me have.
I'm a
I don't
hipster,
know about
know?
you, but I know Matt and I both have the hipster inclination to be like, no.
No, everybody likes it. I'm not gonna like it. It's probably gonna be stupid. It's gonna be like The Last Jedi. And I'm not gonna like it.
There's a huge part of me that's like, oh man, all these people are talking about this movie now. Yeah, I'm good. I didn't watch Squid Game because that.
I still haven't watched Squid Game. I have no
feel
interest
like,
in it.
Me too. Yeah, I heard what it was about. And I was like, I don't have interest in watching.
Well, I
that.
thought it was a really good premise. I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. But then, like, I feel like it's already got ruined for me because I know, like,
It's over
I know exactly what
commercialization
happened.
ruined that movie. Every T-shirt, everybody's got a T-shirt with Squid Games. There's like little everywhere you go, there's like little merchandise. And I think when you over commercialize something like that, eventually I'm just like, ugh. And then it's like LeBron James is getting in fights with the director or the writer about it. And I'm like, I don't care to watch any of this now.
Yeah.
And I just haven't had any. I'll probably watch it in like 5 years, and then you guys will see a post. It'll be like, hey, Squid Games wasn't that bad, guys.
Why is LeBron James getting in fights with like a Chinese or is it an Asian director?
See, I don't want to say Chinese.
Yeah, I don't want to say
Might be
Chinese
Korean.
either because I thought like he's super good friends with all the Chinese, but like
all of them, every one of them.
every single one of them, he knows their names.
Does it kind of, let me ask you, this is a true question. Is it kind of annoying when they like call you like African American? You have to be called black and African American, right? It's African American.
I'd rather
to
just
be
be called Jordan.
Yeah, but I mean, like if you had to write it down, would you rather write African?
Oh, it's
American
black.
or
Well, it's funny, yeah,
I'm
because
not
like
from Africa.
it's like
I
when I hear
don't think any of my family's from Africa. Like I'm sure like way,
Eventually,
you know. But also, it's been 100 years. I don't like.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's weird to me when like, cause like I feel like a lot of like PC people don't know what to call black people sometimes. They're like, do I call them black? Do I call them African American? Because like there's that video of like Donald Trump at a rally, and he's like, yeah, look at my buddy, look at my fellow African American, look at my fellow, or he's like, look at my African American buddy there, and it felt like you wanted. It felt like the N word.
it feels more racist now. Like when if you hear a white guy,
African American is very condescending.
It's weird, right?
Yeah,
okay, yeah, because like. Yeah. It's weird to me, like when I hear someone say that, like, "Oh, I had an African American friend." I'm like, "Why would you say? Why would you even need to say that? Like, it sounds more condescending than just say black."
Weird adjective to throw.
Anytime somebody says I have a black friend, you're always like,
Do you?
Do you have a black friend?
I don't know. I just got friends.
I appreciate that mindset. I just want to be Jordan. Like, I mean, I don't feel like I'm sitting here between a white guy and a black guy. You know what I mean? Like, that's,
I talk a lot of racist shit, but at the same
well,
time,
okay.
Ultimately, I just want to be Jordan.
Yeah.
When
it's funny, it's funny. You know, it's like, come on.
Yeah. And then we went on that. I did want to shout out the guys from Is That Right?
They were great.
David and Dalton.
Yeah, Davey and Dalton.
Davey Dalton. Yeah, they were really cool. We went on their podcast and stuff, but like at one point they were talking about Asian. They're like, don't do an Asian accent. And so I was like, oh. And I was like, I don't give a fuck.
This is Kokomo press time.
I'll also do a Russian or a German. I did that too. I'll do those all the time.
I will
Accents
do
are
all the
accents,
bad
though.
accents because I can't really do accents. But
I never got the thing that accents are like. I mean, I guess I can kind of see it because it's kind of like. I guess it's like caricaturing. You know what I mean? But like. But it's caricaturing is funny, you know. It's like if a guy has a big nose and you make his nose even bigger, you know, it's like it's
depends
funny.
What you say in the accent.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like what are you pinging on? Because I remember like where was that? There's that. I can't remember the name of the guy.
You can't do like a black person accent, right? And just be like, now I'm just gonna go smoke blunts. Hit 40s, fuck bitches. Like
I think those
because there's a lot.
What's a black person?
There's
accent,
I don't know.
I guess I don't know what that is.
I don't
I'm
know.
trying to think like just like speaking in Ebonics.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, so you know, like dudes that are like, "Hi, my name is Sharkeisha. I got 8 baby daddies." Nah, nah, nah.
Listen, that pays the bills, motherfucker.
Is she here? Is she here? Oh.
She's here. I should have walked out. I should have walked out, come back and be like, "Oh, you talking about me, motherfucker? You talking about me?"
All right, that's gonna be the edit. There you go.
Yeah, but Sharkeisha had more of like a southern accent. It was late less like Ebonic. It was more like a southern accent.
You know what I mean?
What's up, man? It's like, hey, man. That's way more southern. It's like a southern belle.
Sounds like
terrible.
Kentucky.
When you do Sharkeisha, like I really thought that you were trying to be Terrence Howard, but Terrence Howard being
What's up, man?
being
That's
a
true.
woman.
That actually makes
So,
sense. That
I
actually
can see
makes
that,
sense.
yeah.
I can, but he does have that weird southern. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, actually, I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was doing that, but maybe I am.
Yeah, it's really when like people like put too much emphasis on like just weird things.
I didn't even see Hustle and Flow until like 2019. That's the first time I watched Hustle and
Amazing.
Flow.
I've probably seen that movie,
Great movie.
more than I've seen any other movie, to be honest.
Whoop that true. You've watched that movie so many times.
Yeah. Well, you guys know we came from the era of DVDs.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
DVDs on repeat.
Oh yeah,
If
dude!
you
I
have-
saw Old School so many times because of that. It's the only one we had at this. I was staying at
That's the
Adam
story.
Jenny's new apartment.
It's the only movie.
It was the only one there, and it was like it's a brand new apartment. We had like a couch and a TV and a DVD player in Old School, and it just literally looped all the time because of that. You
For
know?
me, it was Step Brothers. It was like the
Yeah.
movie you put on when you brought a girl over because you start laughing and then things would start going somewhere. And you're like, haha, this is so funny. Take off your pants.
the silence there was kind of funny. There you go. Yeah. everything went silent.
Take off your pants. Did it again. Okay.
Yeah,
What?
that's
I didn't
weird.
know that. That's a really
weird. That's a
so
good
like
phrase.
if we're at the show and people won't be quiet when you're talking, just say take off your pants and people are like 3 times. It worked.
Why does it work so well?
What
I
is
don't
it?
get it.
This must be the alien. It's the aliens buzzword. Like you know, like when we
shit.
get up there and they bend
your
us
butt.
over and they gotta touch our butts just to take off our pants and it just immediately we all stop and we just go down. It's like we turn off. We're like genetic robots.
That's so weird.
Genetic robots with our buttholes. That's so
There's some weird air in the room right now. I don't.
Yeah,
that's
I like
weird.
it. I
We're gonna
like
do
it.
the rest of this podcast pantsless.
Mm-hmm.
So you know.
It's the no pants. Well, we're already doing it pantsless. You don't want to wear pants.
Yeah.
Put shorts on.
Shit, yeah, it's 20 degrees outside.
usually
I still
wear
got
shorts.
shorts.
I
Yeah.
know.
Usually it's fucking 20 degrees outside. I'm not wearing
White
shorts.
guy, fat white guys. We don't. There's no rules.
Yeah, I know.
It's got to be negative before I put on pants. Like,
And even
full-on
then, it's like,
pants.
oh, maybe. I'm just running to the store. It's warm in the car.
I mean, I get that.
I'm gonna be outside for a minute.
I get that, and I'll run out in shorts. It's for me, it's the guys that like we'll see at work.
Oh yeah,
right?
they're so funny.
That are in basketball shorts and literal t-shirt.
Yeah.
And you look so cold.
Yeah.
You're pink.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
And their neck right here, their Adam's apple looks way bigger, and it's because their balls have sucked into their neck. That's how fucking.
Yeah.
I'm like, when you wear basketball shorts, like these ones are pretty thick, but they are a little loose. Like yours are okay because they're not super loose right here.
Like,
But you get a breeze walking into work, and it's like, and you're like, oh, my balls are gone. They're gone. They're up there.
Yeah,
They're up there.
yeah.
So I have
Turtle.
ovaries. I have ovaries. Yeah, turtle. Turtle.
Exactly.
shrinkage is real.
Shrinkage
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah.
You don't even need water.
Yeah, women, it's real. I swear.
This is why I'm wearing pants because I'm not trying to worry about that.
Oh shit! I just realized you're probably looking at my balls this whole time.
Bro, my balls are. Like, I wear like gray sweatpants.
That was
in
the
here all
selling
the time.
point of the podcast.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Yeah.
That's why you want me in the middle. Okay.
This is the balls.
Always.
This is the balls podcast featuring the
Yes.
balls. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Balls.
Balls and butt. Balls and butt stuff. This
Now take off
podcast
your
is brought
pants.
to you by Balls and Butt Stuff.
We got to talk a little bit about the show because I mean, like we've
What
talked
show?
about it so many times on the podcast, Ultrajoyed. We've talked about
What
it.
shows?
so-
What's that? I don't
What's
even
that?
know what that is anymore.
I was just talking to somebody the other day.
It's a concept. I think.
It's a concept. We've shot half like a half an episode probably.
Yes.
But like honestly, between COVID, sickness, people going in and out of work, it was so hard to finish it. I think in the spring we should finish that first episode.
100%.
And then but I really feel like we had to wait because once it got too cold, it was like there's nothing we could do.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, I don't think we should. I don't want to push something out that's not what we wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of ways we could have made it work for the winter, but I'm like, I'd rather keep it the way it's written. And then when we do the next episodes, I think it'll be a lot easier because there's a lot less, like, to me, it seems like it'll be a lot easier in the next episodes because it's a lot less me too, which will be nice. I can actually help a lot more behind the scenes.
I'm glad.
Yeah. I know.
I was trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to do this. Like,
I know, right? I'm here to help.
I need to be in less scenes so I can be behind the camera. But
Yeah. You'll be in more scenes in the next episode, I think.
Well, yeah, get comfortable with the camera then.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Well, me holding the camera and shooting you two, doing the oh shit and all that. It was so awkward for me, and I'm like, I gotta get comfortable, dude. I gotta get. So when I bought that camera off you with our lovely benefactor Jacob, who gave us that money.
Thank you,
Jacob. When I but yeah,
Not
he
you, though.
not me. That's
weird.
incest. That's incest.
No. Incest.
Incest.
Not incest.
Incest. Gay. Oh, it's like dang it. I don't know. You know what's the? I was seeing something recently that was like, is it gay if you? Like, is it gay? Is it gay? You guys remember that old? There used to be.
Yeah, it's only if you make eye contact.
Yeah, only if you make eye contact. There's all these rules. We all have these. Is these gay?
Only if your
rules.
balls touch.
And I was listening to this podcast where these guys were talking, and he was like, I was on the bus, and these two boys, he's like 7-year-olds, they were making out. And they're like, look, we can make out. And he's like, and they had no idea that it was gay because they were too young to understand gay.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just doing it because they thought it was funny. And he's like, unfortunately, it was in front of everybody on the bus. So like now, forever they're gay, and it's like they have no choice over it. And it's like that's the point. Like, what's gay and what isn't? You know, we gotta.
Is it straight?
It's only gay if you want to date them, right? So you can have like all the gay sex in the world, but it's not gay,
Like,
right?
cool.
Right?
As long
If
as
you're
it's
not
Sounds good
casual.
to me.
It's casual, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Just casual sex, you know? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure
Hey.
I'm still straight.
Take,
No, I'm just
take off your
kidding.
pants.
Take off your pants. Oh, they're already halfway off. I got these cool pants.
Look, I know I did that thing to you that one time, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm not
for a guy that
telling
doesn't like butt stuff, you obviously do a little bit. Ouch. Yeah,
If he's pitching, it's a little different than catching.
told you, yeah.
it's true. It's true.
I'm just trying to dominate.
It's trying to go to bed.
Yeah, it's a dominating thing. I get it, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that has to be like the biggest part of butt stuff is like it's literally like it's a power dynamic thing, right?
Yeah,
More than anything.
kind of.
I mean, yeah.
And I think as a man, it's hard to relinquish that power of like.
Well, that's why I said nothing inside. You know,
Yeah,
just
don't put nothing.
A little bit of tickling's cool, you know, but don't be shoving anything, you know.
This is definitely going to be a butt stuff podcast. Like this is going to be a butt stuff episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of butt
course.
stuff. Yeah, it's funny that you and I are like bearded guys with glasses, and we're like, yeah, butt stuff. We've done it. And then Jordan's like, I don't. He's got his nails painted, and he's got the pretty blonde hair. It's like Justin Timberlake.
I see, because you guys like adhere to these social norms that are weird, right? That are like,
No,
hey,
we're literally.
Butt stuff
explaining.
is social norm, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I think you're just profiling here.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
no,
so.
I think part
Well,
of it is.
if
That's a white cis male thing to do, though, so I get it.
No, you know what's crazy? We
We're
went
less
on,
cis than he is. We do butt stuff.
That's
What's
your point.
What's crazy is that we went on that Is That Right podcast,
Yeah, yeah.
and one of the very first questions they asked was like, "Hey, are you gay?"
Yeah, they did. They're
was
like,
like-
hey, we don't want to. We're not like trying to. They're like trying to be as politically. And they're like, are you gay? Are you
Yeah.
bi? And it's like, I don't really label it.
Yeah.
I'm just Jordan.
I'm just Jordan, yeah.
Yeah,
I like it. African American?
Yeah,
Every podcast is Jordan. What are you? What are you, bro? What are you?
Well, that's good, though. That means you're a multifaceted person, which is interesting. You know?
Yeah.
I guess. Or I confuse a lot of people.
Or that too, yeah. Same thing. So it's
Same
cool.
thing.
Yeah, you wear. The thing is, you wear your gender non-conforming as like performance art, like because like who you are is like it's part of the art thing. Ours is just kind of like we don't wear it outwardly. Ours is inside.
Yeah.
So like it's like we're kind of gender non-conforming too, but we're on the inside. You know?
Not too far inside, just around the rim.
Just
you know.
around the
Just
I mean, you and I have both worn dresses. We both know that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean,
yeah.
like
I was actually Betty White for Halloween one
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
My band was supposed to be the Golden Girls, and they just showed up in regular clothes, and I'm like, you motherfucker! I had a wig, I had a dress, I had a pearl necklace, everything, and I'm like, now it looks weird when we play because I'm
BR
up there.
the problem?
It was
fucking bitch.
Yeah, it was
Fucking
supposed to
bitch.
be. It was supposed to be her and Blanche, and I'm like, But like we had like weeks and weeks to come up with a costume. And I did my makeup and shit. I had a stuffed bra. Like I went all out. And then like I show up and then we played a show and they're just like in normal street clothes and I'm up there in a full on dress with a pearl necklace and it was kind of funny though. But the funniest part is I got hot like halfway through the set, so I started like taking it off and like I took the top of the dress off and then like I had the bra and then I took the bra off and I still had the wig and like, it was and my makeup was all smeared by the time the end of the show. It was
so you had awesome photos from like before to after.
Yeah. I've used them as like Facebook profile pictures because of how cool they came out.
I think I've seen the pictures. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, I think I've seen this before.
But it was. We opened the show with the Golden Girls theme song. Actually,
Yeah.
we used to play that as our opener. That's my other band, not Graygarden.
Yeah, Dwarf. Yeah. Everybody knows Dwarf. If you don't know Dwarf, then come on.
Yeah, we've been around.
Is that from our group?
This
chat?
is 15 years this year we've been around, so it's been a long time.
It's Jeremy. What time of the night, gents? He's like, we got band practice tonight. We got to get ready for the show.
Yes.
We're playing the whole album. That's the crazy thing. We're going to do the whole album. And,
Yes.
And from start to finish. And there's literally no like we didn't like put the album in order of like easiest. So it's going to be way crazy. And there's a
hard for
couple
you.
of them for me and you. You've got some weird ones back to back that like he's like anything after Stumbleino is going to be like.
Dude, I hate that song.
Yeah.
Like I love the song.
When we wrote it, it was like
It's a great song, but I hate playing it.
because it's so hard. Like it's
The drum parts that I wrote, it's a leg cramper because it's like a lot of like dotted quarter notes and like dotted eighths notes, and I'm like so many dotted notes, and it's just like it's a weird rhythm to catch on top of the other. I don't know.
Yeah, but listening to it sounds awesome.
It's super cool. It's a great song. That's on streaming. You know.
Yeah, you can check out
Apple
Stumbleino.
Music, YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff.
Stumbleino,
Graygarden,
Graygarden.
Stumbleino.
Go to if you're on
Ringo
Facebook,
Six.
go to we have a Facebook page, and
Yeah.
we actually have on our YouTube we have a playlist of all. We have 4 like actual studio songs that we've released, and then we have one that's like a live version that we did at Harvest Fest that you were at.
Yeah.
And so we have all 5 of those in the playlist. So anytime we release them, I put them on the playlist so that people can watch them in succession.
Which
Without having
we'll probably talk about this when on another day if the band ever comes on this podcast.
Yeah.
But Stumbleino is a weird title, but it was supposed to be stumbling, and just in case anybody wonders, the dry erase board got marked and it looked like an O, so that's where Stumbleino.
we just
came
changed
from.
it to Stumbleino because it looked funny.
Which really, stumbling was just a tentative title too,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it was in the lyrics. You say I'm stumbling, and so we're just like, oh, that one's called stumbling for now until you come up with something, and then it got wiped. And we're like, okay, well, it's Stumbleino forever now.
Yeah,
So,
now it's Stumbleino.
Funny story there.
Some of them had hard titles, but some of them we came up with after. Like that one with Hot Rod's also one that was
France.
France.
I like the
Well,
tentative
France is a
titles.
weird one because France. It was named France before it was I ever wrote lyrics. Remember?
That's right.
Because we
yeah.
were talking about like Jeremy. The funny thing about Jeremy's our ideas guy, which he's going to be here when we do the podcast.
Yeah.
But Jeremy is like the ideas guy. He just throws things out, and then Matt and I are like, we reel the things in or we reel them back. Like,
Yeah,
we push them
yeah.
back. So with like France, he had come up with. He was like, you should think of like like the French Revolution and France and all the turmoil. And it was right during all the George Floyd protests after we had done all that. And then I went downstairs into the basement where we lived. And France was the tentative title, and I was like, I'll think about that. And then I started writing, and it made me think about the protests and about everything. So the song ended up being about that, and it ended up working because the original idea was like the French Revolution.
And it's
so
like
it worked.
the title's really interesting, and it's funny because my bros and I have a brother cousin, which is kind of cool. My dad banged some sisters, but anyway, he picked up on that. Because I was showing him some of the premixes or whatever, and he's like, it's like, what's this one called? And I was like, France, and he was like, oh, like the French Revolution, like you're calling like he picked up that it was like an analogy for the Minneapolis stuff to the French Revolution, which is so crazy to me.
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody would really. I mean,
Make
it
that
makes
connection,
sense,
yeah.
but it's not something that you really think about when you're listening to music. You know what I mean?
I
But,
love
like,
Ryan. I barely know the guy.
Yeah.
And, it sucks because like I like him so much that he has a very close sense of humor to us.
Yeah, yeah.
And he reminds me of like a second Matty that I never get to hang out with. Like
Well, we related
imagine
in
there's
more
two
ways-
Matties and you can't hang out with one of them. That's what I feel like.
we're
He's
related
like
in
one
more
of them.
ways than one. So
I
it
know
makes
you guys
sense.
are brother cousins.
Yeah.
His dad banged his mom and his sister, and now they're cousins / brothers. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Incest? No.
Now you're doing incest, not incest.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well, no, it didn't become incest until we were older and we started banging each other.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's real
Oh,
weird,
that's-
but
yeah.
you know.
Just
yeah,
joking. Don't believe that's true.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
it's cool. Yeah.
Maybe. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Everything's allegedly.
Allegedly.
Now take off your pants.
With the name of it, take off your pants.
Well, we were talking about the whole thing because he's like a history buff, so he was like he totally understood the analogy there because he's like super into
There's a
stuff
super
and
there's a
everything.
super comparison. To
It's
me, it was
cool.
like a revolution of people like in the streets fighting for rights.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. And to me, the whole France idea of it was like, off with his head. Like let's start like what's the you guys remember the name of the guy that used to cut heads before he got his head cut off? What is his name?
Is it Vlad?
Edward?
No, no, he was a French guy. Is it not Montesquieu?
Wait,
That's a different name.
wasn't it Marie Antoinette?
She was like the woman, but it was King Louis, I think, or something like that.
I think
that
it
got
was,
his head
yeah.
cut off. But there was a guy that I can't remember. Robespierre? Robespierre?
I can't remember.
Bro, if you are a history buff and you remember his name, but there was a guy that
I'll
he
type
led
that
the
in.
charge of all the beheadings, and then he ended up getting himself beheaded. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's funny because when we were listening to that, we were listening to it in
Irony.
his car, and he was talking about, he just went on this big spiel about, oh, this is what happened, and it led to the first like monarchy and all this
Yeah.
crazy stuff, and he's like super into that, but he drew the parallel, he understood like the combination of the two.
But that's what
super cool.
when Jeremy came up with that concept of like when he was writing, it was really cool, and he was like, when I feel it, I just feel like France. He's like, it feels like very like revolutionary or like Renaissance feeling, and I'm like, okay. And then when I wrote it, it reminded me of the George Floyd thing and when we went down to the protest. So I was like, and then that parallel became something. So I was like, it's funny that the song is like a modern protest song, but it's like it's called France because of that reason. So it's like we have a couple of songs that are in like Hot Rod's called Hot Rod for a really random reason. Like we have really, and then we added the beginning of Hot Rod is you look pretty. What did you say? I said you look shitty from fucking Hot Rod.
Yeah.
And then the end.
That's perfect.
Good night, Denise.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
Yeah.
the January 29th is the release show, but the 28th is when it'll be released on digital streaming.
Yeah.
So you can go listen to France, so like we were just talking about, and Hot Rod and all
France
that.
is a good
You've
one.
heard
When
it.
you guys hear it, like you
I sent it
guys
to
will
him for inspiration.
know
Yeah.
what they're talking about.
Even
so.
though it's it's about a year late now, it's not really relevant now, but it's still relevant.
it's relevant.
It's always relevant, but if we would have released it a year ago,
All of
it
that's
probably would have
cyclical.
gone viral.
And then all of that's cyclical.
Yeah.
Something
It's all
else is
100%
gonna happen.
relevant, but-
Well, and the big thing with it, you said if we would have released it a year ago, it might have went viral. My big thing was like I really didn't want to I didn't want to jump on a bandwagon.
I didn't either,
Oh,
but-
everybody's doing this because you guys did a really cool thing with a version of a System of a Down song where it was like they had recreated it for what happened with the
Yeah,
protest.
the song was about Rodney King.
Yeah.
So it was about that whole thing, and so but we just updated it and changed. We didn't change anything except for he says behind the Staples Center, and I said behind the Target Center because
that was Minneapolis when it happened.
yeah. But
So
and also
cool.
Target was like the first place to get looted, which was kind of a crazy thing there.
Yeah.
But we ended up using like stuff from video footage and stuff from the protests and all
That
that.
song was cool. Though.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a cool cover. But
We've been playing that song for a few years anyway, and I was like, it makes perfect sense. Like,
Let's put it out.
let's do a studio version of it,
Yeah,
But
it's baller. Like we've got the whole album. I think what we have. Do we have 11 tracks? Because we dropped Kitchen Sink, so we have 11 tracks. I think.
Yeah, 11
Including-
tracks.
and that's including the intro.
Yeah.
So it'll be 11. It's 11 songs. It's going to release on the 28th. And the only reason we're releasing it digitally on the 28th is so people can listen to it before the show. So like if you can get into a song like, oh shit, like I didn't even know they did this style. Because that's my big thing is like we were all kind of having a discussion about like how should we wait and release it on Saturday. But like I was afraid to release it on a Saturday and then people don't have enough time to listen.
Yeah.
And then they're not sure. Like some people have heard our songs or know us. They're going to come regardless. But some people might be like, I don't know what kind of style this is. They're all over the place with what they've released. They'll find out we're even more all over the place because there's like so much going on.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
which is
And
why
then you'll come out on January 29th again, and you'll get to actually like get the sample size of everything that they're wanting to.
You're getting the whole.
which is another reason I really like the artwork, because like you look at that artwork, you can't tell what style it is. Like you have no idea what you're going to walk into.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And which is cool for our music because it's all over the place, and it's
Yeah.
just it's kind of it's more abstract.
Yeah.
But like like you were saying, sometimes you can look and be like, oh, this is a pop punk album, this is a metal album, this
Yeah.
is a hip hop album, this is pop, just from the album cover itself. But with that, it could be literally anything, and
Right.
it's really cool because there is lots of different styles on there.
Yeah.
But my thing about the dates, so I understood where you were coming from
yeah,
to
yeah.
release the digital the one day and then have the release, but it's like because now that we're promoting it, like
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
feel,
hard. You have to.
there's going to be people that show up to the record store on the 28th.
You think so?
I don't know, maybe because we're promoting both dates. You know what I
Knowing
mean?
Courtney, she will because she messaged me and was like, "Hey, I'm coming to your show," and I'm like, "When?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That sounds cool." And she's like, "Yeah, it's tonight, right?" And I'm like, "On the January 1st." She thought we were doing the show. They were doing a show at American Dream. She thought that was our show.
Okay.
I'm like, "No, we're not playing tonight. It's not till the 29th."
It's just confusing in general, and that's why, like, for me, it always made sense to do like one date, and you could push that date like crazy.
Yeah.
But if you're saying, because like when I made the banner for the Facebook, it's like digital release 28th,
Yeah.
physical release 29th with the show.
Yeah.
like there's going to be people confusing that. They're going to get off, take off work or whatever on Friday. I think they're going to a show, but there's no show Friday. It's just a digital release.
I'm taking off Friday.
So it was weird to me, but I understood what you meant because then people could listen to it and have a whole
and then
day.
a lot of albums release on Fridays.
It makes sense.
So to me, it was like also it felt like it there's a reason why. And then we have a very strong movie / like old time radio element to it. So I was like, I really like the idea of releasing it on Friday for that reason as well, because movies. We know they release on Thursday. Okay, I get that. But like they release on Friday.
Used to be Friday.
Used to be Friday at midnight.
Yeah.
But some fucking asshole in Colorado ruined that for everybody. You know what I mean? You can't bring a gun to a Joker fight. You know what I mean?
No, you cannot.
But the whole entire album is like if I had to like explain like the best way to explain like what the album is, it's like a charcuterie board. Charcuterie? You ever seen that charcuterie?
Yeah.
It's like the charcuterie board of like music because there's so many different things on it and you can pick and choose. So if you like. The weird thing about our album is, I'm pretty sure if you like music, like if you like any of us, if you like weird shit, you're gonna like it regardless. Mm-hmm. But even if you don't like track 2, you're gonna love track 5 because it's so different. So I feel like everybody wants.
It's all over the place for sure.
Yeah, especially like one of my favorite songs on the album is so different than everything else. Bad News Bearer.
Yeah.
It's so different than everything else, and it's the recording of it and the way you mixed it, Matty, is like. Amazing! It's ridiculous. It's my favorite. It's so hype. And then when we pat yourself on the back. And then when we do it live, we can't even capture the essence of how good. It's one of those things where like I've never done this before. I've never recorded a song. Like I've recorded a little bit of music, but this is the first album. But I've never recorded a song that's been so that I've liked more in the studio than I do playing it. I love playing it too, but like it's so much better like the studio version.
So I've been in Dwarf for 15 years. We put out 2 full-length albums, 2 EPs, a re-release demo, a movie, and a DVD live. And I've never recorded a song with Dwarf that I liked more on the record than in real life. Yeah. But yeah, with Bad News Bearer, it's like
it's the first one.
We're talking 15 years of music. I've never done that, and now we've done it. Like it's crazy.
It's so cool. Like
it's super cool.
It's like you can't recreate the feel of it that we have on the album because he was able to mix it. I mean, honestly, it's like a mixing feat to me. I think it's so good.
Yeah,
I really do because like
really
for the longest time. Like, I was so apprehensive about that song because I just didn't... It was a little bit out of my wheelhouse. I was doing something... There's a little bit like of a hip-hop vibe because it's like new metal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's got a hip-hop vibe to it.
It's very late 90s, early 2000s.
It's very hardcore, too. It's got a really... Like, that whole lit up... Where it sounds so doomy, and like I love it so much. And then when there's this weird bridge that we wrote to it, that Matty helped me rewrite because I wrote it, and it was like... very like boring. It was, and Matty helped me rewrite it so that it wouldn't be so like boring and go with the guitars. And it's just it's got such a great feel. And the way that he has the vocals piercing through, where everything it's so full, but like it feels like the vocals there pierce through, and then there's a culmination. And then it goes back in it. And it's so cool, dude. I'm excited.
28, listen to it. It's called Bad News Bearer.
It's going to be so cool.
We're talking all this stuff now. Now anybody that's listening is like, I got to hear this song.
Yeah. You guys have got to hear it. I'm so excited to release this album. I've been in bands, never released an album before, just like EPs and like small little projects. Yeah. So this is like, and like Matty's been in a band with Ryan, who's our bass player, and they've been in so many bands, they've released EPs, they've never released an album. Yep. So it's the first one Ryan's releasing, first one I think Jeremy's releasing. Justin might have, I don't know, because he did Ostrich and stuff. I don't know if they released it.
No, they recorded with me and they broke up before I got it mixed.
Damn it.
I still have those tracks. I need to finish the Ostrich track. We should put it out. Like,
yeah. Matt's the only one that's finished albums because Dwarf's been around for a trillion years.
Right.
Yeah.
And we
haven't put an album out since 2013.
But yeah, I will say one thing about Dwarf. Even the stuff that you listen to, that's the album stuff. It's really funny and I love it too. But seeing Dwarf live is a whole different thing. Dude. Yeah. It's like it's an experience, man. Have you seen Dwarf live?
Yeah, I've seen Dwarf.
It's
fun. Been to Harvest Fest.
Goofing off.
Yeah, I love
it's so much fun because you can have. It's like you can have it's loose. It's so loose that you.
We don't take it seriously at all. We don't ever practice before shows.
But it's still really good.
We just go up there and fuck around.
It's still good. Though. Yeah. It's tight. I mean, even when Kibbles messes up, Kibbles, I'm looking at you. Even when Kibbles messes up, or anybody messes up, it's not even a big deal because you guys have been together for so long. You just go to the next song, and everybody's like, "Oh, I love this song too. I love this song too."
Well, we just so we used to. There was a couple years. So I lived with my mom back when we got together. That's how long ago this was. I mean, I was fucking 18 when we got together, and she ended up moving to Florida and basically left me and my brother there to like take the whole house. And it was a big house. It's so like Jesse and Kibbles and like we had like groupie girls and we had other people that were always there all the time. So we would just jam 3, 4, 5 times a week. We would just wake up before work. So we all worked together at KFC at the time. And so like we would wake up and we all worked second shift. So we would just jam all day and then go to work and then get home and jam more. You know, it's like, and like, so we got so tight around those years that like now it's like we can not play for a year and we get together and then we just be right with each other. It's crazy.
It's so funny that you could just be like, Matty would just like get up in the morning and be like, oh. Dun.
Dude, yeah.
And then Kibble's like, boom, boom, and then Jesse like, boom.
Yeah.
And they just go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then they start
100%. So yeah, so I actually so at the time I had given away or I got rid of my bed. Yeah. So I had room for instruments in my bedroom, and I had a couch that I slept on. And I would lay on that couch, and then I would literally wake up to them. Like Jesse would come and start playing drums, and Kibbles would jump on the bass. I would wake up to them doing that. So I would just like grab my monster or whatever, and I would get up, put the guitar on. We would just play, like first thing in the morning.
Did you
guys, I say morning, but it was like crack at noon.
Was it that? Did you guys break the inside of the house floor, or was it the outside on the? I know at one point you guys told a story where you guys broke. You guys were like moshing so hard that with people that you guys broke. Like, was it a deck?
Oh no! So yeah, that was Kenny Musselman's house,
okay.
And we used to do parties out in his backyard. And he had this big deck that was kind of like a stage.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a mosh thing. It was me specifically. I started. So Kurt No Brains when it starts. It's for those of you who don't know, it's about Kurt Cobain, obviously. No Brains, shoot yourself. But it's there at the beginning. It's very bouncy, and I always jump to try to get people jumping with me. And so I start jumping, and as soon as we get into the song, I broke right through the...
then you finished it inside.
Yeah, I broke through the deck, so I'm waist deep in this deck. And I'm standing there with, like, broken wood all around me. And I pick my guitar up, I'm still playing. And, like, somebody grabs the microphone and moves it down, so I start singing. And I'm doing this whole song, like, inside the deck. Until I get to an instrumental part where I let it ring, and then I climb out. And then I just continue the song.
Nice.
It was so funny.
The show must go on.
Yeah, that hole was there forever. We always talked about it. Like, it was always funny because it was a Matty-shaped hole, like, in the deck. It was like up to here.
You heard it here first. Matty Crull broke his deck.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
But he did not let that stop him, ladies and gentlemen.
He
kept going through. He kept persevering.
0 performance issues.
There's video of it
0.
somewhere. I'll have to see if I can find it. But yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
we didn't miss a beat though. It was funny.
I love shit like that because those stories are the most fun stories. Yeah, like when something crazy happens. It's funny because he was talking about how he used to MC all the Outhouse shows, and then when we did Right to Play, I would always MC the Right to Play shows. Now you're going to be MCing those shows. I'm so excited about that. I'm excited to have you on. I'm excited that we're gonna like finally. It's so hard for me not to want to put the Kokomo Press on the thing. I don't want to piss people off because people. But I was like, we should do a Kokomo Press show at some point and do like music a little. I want to do a festival.
Why don't you guys set up a Kokomo Press like table at the show at the release?
Be down with it. Be down with it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you'll be at Graygarden maybe, and you'll be emceeing with especially AEC.
Maybe
we're gonna have like a merch table or something.
Yeah,
you get some merch, have some T-shirts and stuff.
He's got some really cool shirts for his marvelous Mr. Bell character.
Yeah,
ProWrestlingTees.com.
Hell yeah, merch.
That's so cool that you got on there.
That's what I
so
was
fucking
so
hard.
Awesome.
I didn't realize
awesome,
how
man.
exclusive it was. He was like, yeah, I got shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com for us, and I'm like,
that's a big deal.
What are we doing? Yeah. And then I was like, I looked up a little bit, did a research, and I was like, bro, actually, this is kind of cool. It's like, it was cool either way because it's like we have merch somewhere. But I was like, I didn't realize how exclusive it is.
Yeah.
You actually have to like have a following and shit.
Yes.
So I was so happy that
it's not like it's not like it's not like where's the Teespring?
Yeah,
or anybody.
Yeah.
Or even Etsy or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like that. Like they have to be like, all right, we'll take it.
Yeah. You actually have to like have something. You have to have something for it. Yeah. Anyway,
cool.
Well, let's go ahead and finish this podcast. We got an hour and a half going.
My bad.
No, I love it. This is what we want, man. We want to talk.
Hopefully your editing is good. But.
The editing will mostly just be me going beginning end and cut it off because I love having everything in the middle. This has been fun. Like I actually enjoy having you because we talk all the time. So the three of us know each other well. So it's like a lot easier to do a podcast that way. Really, seriously, check us out, Graygarden. Check out the Marvelous Mr. Bell. Check out Matty Crull, Matty Mayonnaise. You gotta check out his shit. He's got so many bands, Outhouse Records. Like it's impossible to list your credentials.
I might be filling in with Lucifist for a little bit too.
Oh shit!
I just so
what are you
yeah,
gonna play?
Guitar. Their guitarist got a job in New York, and it's gonna be a really quick thing, maybe 3-4 shows until they can find somebody.
You would be the best person to do it because you recorded their whole.
I recorded their album and I know this stuff already, so like I might be filling in for a couple shows with Lucifist.
Hell yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Hell yeah, dude. So yeah, Matty Crull is artist extraordinaire. He draws. He plays every instrument. He records music. He fucking I mean, he's hilarious. He's funny as fuck. You do everything. You do everything.
I never saw myself as funny. Like
You are funny.
With Dwarf, I feel like I riff off of those guys.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I'm funny myself. But
That's not
if I have
highly
people,
disagree
if I
with
have
that.
people to riff off of, then it's
Yeah.
funny. You know.
Oh yeah,
So,
but that's me. You're collaborative. You're just a
Yeah,
collaborative person.
yeah,
I'm the
that
same
makes
way.
sense.
I'm way funnier in a group than I am by myself.
Always.
Oh, we've had some of the most hilarious conversations. Just literally just me and you.
Yeah,
when
joking.
we lived together, we would just like wish we recorded this because like it's so funny.
I think that might be one of the reasons why I was like, I want to do a podcast. So
Yeah,
it's funny
yeah.
that we finally had you on.
Yeah.
And then Jordan, it's funny because I would have those conversations with you, and then I go to work
Yeah.
and I'd have this conversation with him. So I'm
Yeah.
like, and then the three of us get together and we have a great
Oh
conversation.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we got to make this.
I forgot we were doing a podcast. Actually,
We're gonna make-
we're just having fun. Yeah,
Yeah, Jordan and I we always play to the camera. We always play to the camera.
Yeah.
So like, we'll see us talking, and we're like, yeah. So guys, you got to do this, and then we'll go right back to the conversation.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty seamless with that. Where like a lot of podcasts you watch, they don't even really play to the camera; they're just talking.
Well, the thing about it, like, we've been on a lot of podcasts
Yeah.
that, like, they do things in a weird way, not judging or anything
Yeah.
like that, but, like,
Different than
we're not
us.
worried about running ads, we're not worried about sponsors
Yeah.
yet.
We're not even worried about listeners.
Yeah.
That's a joke. It's like
Yeah.
It's just fresh.
That's
like
true.
we really just want to have a good conversation, we have a good time, and we feel like eventually the people that enjoy this are going to find it. They're going to
Absolutely.
find it.
Absolutely.
Like, and I mean, this is season 2. This is the season 2 opener. We didn't say that. I meant to say that earlier. This is the
premiere.
Season premiere. We took a couple weeks off. We had to get Matty Crull in here. We had 2 guys. We're like, we got to have one of these 2 guys
Yes.
in here for our opener, and you were one of the guys. The other one's Alcon. I think
I'm flattered.
We'll have him, or today we have Alcon. Next week
I know.
we have a big third
It's
show,
a banger.
banger
This
of
is
a
a
show,
banger, dude.
and
This is a
then
banger.
our last show of the month is also going to be really good. This is going to be a good month for the Kokomo Press,
Yeah.
at least for us, and
Yeah,
us
we're
having
excited.
good conversations.
It's funny, we
So-
took like a couple weeks off, and then like since then, like we've literally booked some of the coolest guests.
Yes.
You're including,
Yes.
obviously.
Oh,
So
wow.
Super
we're
excited.
excited. Let's go ahead and finish this bitch off. You know, let's call it a day.
Yeah.
Yep. You got anything you want to plug?
I think he already said
Yeah,
it all.
Graygarden.
Graygarden.
Check us out.
Kokomo Midgets, Owl House Records.
Big
Let's
Kokoski
fist.
Festival, the big Kokoski. Let's check that out.
January 29th.
We'll all be there. But you're going to hear about this more every podcast. We're going to talk about it because it's coming up, and like
Yeah.
all the podcasts we have coming up are all about this.
Yes.
But we'll see you guys soon. I love you. This is Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm Jordan.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Matty.
Love you. A few kisses. Hey, thanks for checking out Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm Jordan Granger. Jordan and I are very happy that you guys tuned in. All of our links are available. We've got YouTube, that's right here. We've got our Twitters. I'm going to put those right over here. And then we've even got like Patreon. We've got Facebook. We've got Instagram. We've got all the places. So please check us out. And merch. We have merch. Check out our merch. Oh my God. We have merch. So if you love the Kokomo Press, you enjoy the Kokomo Press podcast, or you just want to, help out and do something with us, check out the Kokomo Press on merch on ProWrestlingTees.com. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on all the places that we have available. Thank you for listening to the show. We love you.
Ain't nobody playing with my butt.